Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing this wonderful evening? I got a guest here. His name is the ominous Viper! Boop, boop, boop! Where's he at?
I'm here.
Oh my God!
That was epic. You brought it up so high, and I was not even in the chair. Where's he at? I'm here.
It's the biggest dingleberry on the internet.
I'm the biggest dingleberry. That's a good T-shirt. I'm gonna use that. Well, in case you guys don't hit that bell, you know I have the bell on. That's a Facebook notification for you. YouTube's lagging for some reason, but
Hey, Q Kitchen and Beyond. It's the Q Kitchen and Beyond. I love it. I love your name.
Bed Bath & Beyond, yeah.
The Beyond section.
It's Viper.
It's the ominous Viper! And he's not there.
And he's not there. I got up so fast. Oh, there it is. YouTube's only 30 minutes late, but yeah, you know I got the bell on when that happens.
Woohoo! So we hope everybody's awake this evening.
Awake.
Awake! You better be woken.
I should like this stream. Oh, I should give it a thumbs. I'm gonna give the stream a thumbs down so that one hater or those two haters that we know of, I'll beat them to it. The joke will be on them, and then I'll undo it.
You know what they used to say in radio?
Just kidding. I can't even do that. That's
when I was in radio. They said, "Keep talking shit about me. You're making me famous."
Right. What I say, it's nice to know you're thinking of me. You know, it's nice to know I'm on your mind and you're thinking of me.
Hey, Doc P. Doc P's in the house. Dingleberry Supreme and the side of nacho cheese. Viper. Woo! Yeah!
I'm here for that.
You got 7 people in here. What's going on? Hit
What's
that like
going on?
If you have a community page, please share us out. Let people know about my live this evening. Trying to get as many hours as I can. I'm down to 300. I am so ready to be monetized.
I think you're past 300.
You will see me in a more organized structure.
I think you're way past 300 until YouTube kind of wakes up and you know, when YouTube wakes up and updates itself, yeah.
Yeah, I might be. We'll see. But okay, so earlier, it's Kara. What's up, girl? Yeah. What's going on?
Hey.
Hey.
You want to hop on?
You can if you want.
What is going on?
If you want to hop on, you can, girl. Here is the link.
The link is in the link, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Uncle Al?
Uncle Al's in the house.
Hi.
So I put out a video. I really want your honest opinion. If you guys have seen it yet. And
I have.
Selling my hemp shampoo and conditioner. I just used it for the first time this evening. And I absolutely loved it.
Does it leave a smell? I'm sure it does.
It has a slight smell, but it's not. It's really clean. It's not like it's not florally. It's not like drastically like in your face. It's real light and clean.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like soapy kind of thing, or
yeah, it's nice. Hey, Uncle Al, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah. Did everybody say hi to Kira? Is it Kira or Kara?
Mm-hmm.
Kara?
Hi, Kara. I'm here. I'm still mixing up my new brew. It's espresso, milk, Dr. Pepper, and this is it orange? No, strawberry powder and whey.
Okay, next time, Kara, come on up. You're welcome. Always on my show. You're such a ray of sunshine. So we love you.
All right.
She's so positive, and
All right.
like, I love that. She's positive, and she sends out a really great message, and I love that.
Yep.
Like,
her vibe is awesome.
mhm.
Yep. What the heck was reading there?
Uncle
I
Al, on
gotta-
the other hand, that's, you know.
Yeah. I'm the evil uncle.
I love you, Uncle Al.
Yeah.
I watched the dog video today.
Yeah. Sometimes I get the dog over here. I forget.
Little poodle.
Poodle.
I think it's a snatsu or something like that. Or
C'est la poodle. You saved my way.
a
It's
poodle
a
something.
poodle.
It's
Schnoodle.
not a poodle. It's a schnoodle or something.
It's a poodle and a Sheltie?
We don't have
I
any
guess,
plans.
I don't-
Kara. We're just crazy.
Yeah,
We
come
just
aboard.
talk about whatever.
Have fun.
Anything and everything, as long as it's PG-13.
Yeah, we
Right.
keep it clean, and
Yeah.
we just talk about whatever.
When we are off air, is the ratings go up.
Yep.
So I'm starving. I had
Right.
dinner earlier, and like after I had my dinner, I just felt like utter crap. I took a nap and I woke up and I was like, I think I'm run down.
I had a weird day. So check this out. I'm so used to waking up at like 10:30. You know, getting up, having breakfast, walking the dog, coming back, getting on the computer for 10 hours looking for work. This morning I woke up 6:45 involuntarily because of the damn gardeners. And I went out, walked the dog, and had breakfast. And when I came back, I had breakfast, and then I went to walk the dog. When I came back, I left to go see a friend. Thank you. To go see a friend because we had to go somewhere, so I had to be at his house at 7:30. And of course, I hit every single red light known to man in the city to get to his house. And anyway, long story short, I came back. It was probably, by the time I got back in my apartment, it was probably like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I kid you not, when it was 4 o'clock, I was sitting on my computer. I was watching YouTube, or I don't know, I was browsing Facebook, and I'm like sitting here, and I'm like, just like this, and I'm like closing my eyes, slowly falling asleep, and I'm like, what time is it? I look at my clock, and I'm like, there's no way. And it was 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, I had to open my blinds and check for light because I'm like, there's no way. And it was sunny. And I'm like, it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I look up at my clock above my TV, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was so thrown off today. Today has been such a long day because I woke up early. I woke up at a normal time. My usual.
Your usual.
Yeah, when I used to work.
Oh, I love pizza. It's like one of my favorite food groups.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't really do much. I have a heaping pile of laundry that I still need to do.
Heaping.
So yeah, it's seriously heaping. So I was doing that today. Cook some food, cook some more food. I had a hodgepodge today. I cooked bacon.
Oh,
Bacon's good.
can't go wrong with that.
I had bacon. I cooked by the way, my eggs. I cracked them open. I did like kind of like a little test on them. Yeah, quality test. And they're perfect. The yolk was big
Nice.
and orange
Nice.
and beautiful.
Orange. Yeah, the color should be not bright.
Yeah.
yellow.
Big and orange and beautiful. And I made my husband a couple eggs, made some bacon. And yeah. That's what I did this afternoon. My son is in this phase where he's not eating anything.
Uh-oh.
And I'm really frustrated. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I It's very, very, very frustrating because normally he eats a banana for breakfast. And this morning he wouldn't even touch his banana.
Uh-oh.
And then he was like a cranky jerk all day long. I don't know what his problem was, but finally I just gave him a snack before I put him in bed, and I put him up to bed. I'm like, I can't. He just was all over the place today. Oh, hello in the kitchen with Karen. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you.
Nice. That's appreciated.
Yes, very, very much so. I'm still working on my hours. I have 309 hours left still, but Viper thinks it's less because
I think
lagging, you know.
Yeah, I think you're in the mid 250, maybe lower, maybe
Yeah, that sounds right.
260. I think you're up there somewhere because I have literally I don't even know. I have to check. It probably stopped, but last night when we got off at night and we said goodbye, I went to go walk my dog. While my wife, my AC finally turned off. When my wife got the dog ready, I went on my MacBook and I loaded up your playlist, and I let it run all night long until this morning. And this morning I checked and it was still running, so I'm like, I stopped it, I reset it, so it's literally been running since yesterday.
Yeah, and I know that you aren't the only one that's watching my stuff. Crystal from Copper Kettle Farms is playing my stuff all day too. She's leaving comments, hey, I'm still here, watching my stuff. And so I know my stuff is getting watched. So I don't know. I think it's just YouTube.
And I've been liking all the videos I watch. Like I like them. I click like to show activity. That's on your playlist. Now, even if you put out a new one like today, I literally stayed there and watched it and liked it. Uh-oh. Here comes trouble.
There's Carol.
What's up with that?
This is ode to Courtney.
Uh-oh. She got one.
No, I had this one. This is the one I dropped on the floor that I need to replace, and I wanted to make it better.
Hey, Bushcraft family. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us this evening.
I got it for Malachi to calm him and soothe him, like they say to do. Sensory. No,
It didn't do it.
No. Neither did all the beers. They didn't work either.
I can just see her with the electric guitar.
Yeah. Let me have some of this. Try this.
Here, try some.
So I got some really, really big news. Uncle Al got a haircut.
Oh, wait. We got it. Oh, I'm there. Yes. Right there.
Here.
Oh my gosh, it's the Tinker's wife. Hello,
Uncle Al.
What's
Uncle
up,
Al.
girl?
I got it. Boom.
Fist bump,
Uncle
Al.
Al. No, wait. There. Boom.
Oh,
I
I've
got
missed you, Tinker's wife.
Uncle Al.
I know you've been busy.
He's texting.
I could just do this.
Don't text and drive, Uncle Al. It's knocking on my head.
Anybody in there?
Nope.
Hello.
No, nothing's coming in. Nothing is there.
How's it go? McFly. Hello.
Ow, Uncle Al, don't poke so hard.
I don't know why these little buttons down the bottom are so difficult for me. I'm like, what do I put
Hey,
on?
folks. Sorry. What are you saying? I was on the other phone.
No wonder why.
I said, don't poke so hard.
So we were saying Uncle Al got a haircut.
Yeah, you got a haircut.
That was the
No,
big news.
Just the same old hair. Combs are different. Yep.
Yeah, he got a haircut. What was it, like a week ago?
Yeah, about a week ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The trick is you massage your scalp with aloe vera water.
Oh.
What you do is get Dustin, you keep rubbing on top of his head aloe vera water, and soon he'll have an afro.
Interesting.
It was olive oil.
Yeah, I could do that, but I think,
It's a little greasy.
yeah, you don't want greases heat, so it's easier with aloe vera water.
Like, hi,
But then you see Dustin with an afro, but only one spot grows straight up. Or you could do it in a stripe. That'd be interesting.
could be like the little Hare Krishnas and end up with a ponytail in the top and the back.
No, I'll have one of those mohawk things just coming out in the middle.
Yes.
Bit my
That'd
tongue.
be very interesting.
The Cupid dolls? Not the Cupid dolls. What were those ones we were talking about before? Oh, the
Troll
trolls.
dolls.
The troll
Troll
dolls.
dolls. Can you imagine? Some guy
Wait, are those
hair
things
back
from
and it
back in
just
the?
grows straight up?
Yeah, they were the troll dolls back in the 90s, and they had a diamond in the belly button. I had
Yep.
one
Yep.
of those.
Why didn't I know
Oh,
little boys had them?
uh-huh.
Those
didn't
things
know
just kind of like disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm surprised considering
And I bet
they're
you
so
it's gonna
sexually
be one of
compliant now.
it's gonna be one of those collectible things nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
I made one that fly at about 60 feet per second. I put a Estes rocket engine, I duct tape it to its back, and I put it on my launch pad. And ever seen a little plastic troll do about 60 feet a second?
Ah,
Just shot it up. Don't know where it landed.
They
Probably
do
hit
it,
somebody on a car.
Do that with the lizards down here. The little boys do with bottle rockets.
nice.
Yeah. So,
Remember when we were kids and we could go to Toys R Us and buy actual rockets with those little light up, like those little fire burning things? You put it in there and then you would press a button and it would take off real
Yeah.
high, and then it would eject the little guy, the little soldier dude with the parachute.
I remember.
Yeah, those are Estes rocket, and you're talking about a magnesium trigger
Yeah.
that you have a little button that's a 9-volt battery and a micro switch,
Yep.
and that's it.
I
Yeah.
probably
We
wasn't
can't have
born
any of that
before then.
today.
No, after I think they had a court case after I shot down an airliner. That didn't happen, folks. STE is a safe product for all children of all ages under supervision and control.
Just like
I
Do
was
not make an
lawn
air-to-air
darts.
missile out of it.
I was never supervised, but I wasn't stupid to do that kind of stuff. Yeah,
The lawn
good
darts
time.
were totally safe. I don't know who ever thought of those.
Mary
Oh,
could
I know.
cap
Oh,
guns.
the Romans. The Romans used to put it behind their shield and throw it at their enemies.
It's a weapon. Here, Johnny, go in the back and play with like 5 of these.
My local my ice
Yeah,
cream
don't
truck.
worry.
Love
You'll
you.
just get stabbed.
My local ice cream truck used to sell BB guns back in the day. Excuse me.
Yep, real ones.
Mm-hmm. CO2 powered one.
Yep.
So the diamond in the navel was the upgraded troll. That's
Hmm.
what Patty says. Yeah, that makes sense.
Huh.
Oh, there's Abby. Hi, Abby.
Happy.
You can
Here,
scroll up.
around here, like close to us, there's a museum. It's called the Troll Hole. And you can go in and they have nothing but trolls in there. Like
Sounds like
nothing
a troll
but
dive bar. A
I
troll
want
hole.
one. I remember mine too. It was like purple with pink.
that's hilarious.
Abby, if you want, you can scroll up and you can see the link.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. I can put the link in the link.
Link in the link.
I swear, somebody else copies that saying, you know for a fact they copied you. Because
Yeah,
no
because
one
that
else.
just like came from my head too. That was like a
You said that.
random-
You said that on one of the lives I joined on a long time ago, and it was totally by accident. Your mouth, like, you slipped a word, like the link is in the link. I mean the chat, and I was like, the link is in the link, and it stayed. It's her.
Yeah. It makes sense.
That is Courtney's copyright.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not super lively. I took a nap today too. I don't know what's up with this day.
Oh, I don't know. Today was horrible.
It was so hot today. I've been running the AC in my bedroom. It's like
That may
it's
be
cool
it.
now, but the
It was
heat.
really hot here yesterday, so maybe that's it. It's just the shifting
heat.
weather.
Yeah, the heat will take a toll. It makes me sleep.
Seriously, it had a cult following? What is wrong with people? I'm gonna follow the Church of Elvis. What is wrong with people?
Wow.
People are so desperate to find something.
That's really bad.
Salvation.
Everybody needs a leader, but
Ding,
he
ding, ding, ding,
he
ding.
died like on the toilet, didn't he? Like
Oh,
on a
Presley?
drug overdose on the toilet.
Elvis?
Elvis.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a heart attack because of the.
Other way around, Carol. Didn't
What?
die in the toilet. He drowned in the toilet.
What? He
Yeah, he
drowned in the
didn't-
toilet?
Yeah, he was
Ew.
vomiting, and then
Oh,
his head
okay.
went in, and he didn't get up. Hey, Patty.
Hi,
Oh.
Patty.
Hi, Uncle Al.
I thought he was straining and had a heart attack.
No,
Sorry.
he was vomit.
Brady. Oh my God, I can't poop.
No, he was vomiting.
That's not so funny. And I'm not trying to be like strict on that, but my friend that passed away last year, that was his first sign, is that he couldn't poop. He had
Oh
a
my
hard
God.
he had a hard time, like he would sit down and like, because he was a like an accountant for many different hotels,
Mhm.
and he was an employee, and he had a little bit of contracts here and there, and then one day his boss said, you know what, I'm retiring, here's all the accounts, and he literally had the whole company to himself. It was perfect.
Wow.
He was not the
Oh my
CEO, he was an owner, but they gave him all the accounts. And so what his job was accountant, and he would sit at the computer and have phone interviews and guide people what to do and all that. And he was having issues going to the bathroom, and he would call me and our other friend up north, because all three of us are like best buddies, and he's like, yeah, I have a hard time pooping. I can't, I eat, but I haven't gone, like it just won't come out.
Oh
And
my gosh.
he was starting to have issues, and he went to go see a doctor, and fast forward a month, he was gone. But
Wow.
if they found out that it was like a cancer, and
Wow.
it just he started getting chemo. I mean, it took him like that.
Instantly.
Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like we found out, he had a second opinion. It went from the moment he found out, it was 2 months before he died.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because after like a month, of waiting for the test results, and then the second opinion, this and this and that, he started doing chemotherapy and all that, and then literally 1 month. In 3 weeks, he was on hospice, and 2 days later gone.
He
My
must have been
God.
pretty advanced. It was probably a pretty advanced stage
I
of
think so
cancer, would
too.
be my
I think
guess.
so
Yeah.
too. He also had I forget what it is, but he couldn't use his hand. I forget what it's called. If you tell me, I'll probably remember. But so
Hi, Deidre.
he had an operation, or he had some kind of like physical disability. So to give you an example, he could ride motorcycles. He can't use his arm. All right. So when he drives his car, he drives with his left hand. He shifts with his left hand like that, with the automatic, and then he drives. To drive a motorcycle, he had to switch the clutch to the other side. So he had both handles on one side. Now, what he would do is when he would climb on, he would get on the bike, hold on to the handlebars, and with his hand that he couldn't use, he was able to do this, and he was able to do this, but he was not able to do this or like any of these movements.
Okay.
It could be what you call muscle paralysis.
No,
I had it for the stroke on this thing. I was all crippled up like that for about 2 years.
Yeah, his was longer than
I had
that.
a friend who's
thing.
the
I forget what
bones
it's
in
a
his
common
arm
thing.
couldn't twist. Viper.
Right.
Could his bones do that? Like, did he have that twisting motion
He
or no?
could, yeah, he could do that. He
Oh
could,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
he could do that. I forget what it's called.
Just hard to grasp.
Damn it. I don't know where I'm going with this story, but
No, that's okay.
he had that issue with his hand. But that didn't stop him from anything else. I mean, he lived his life absolutely normal with that disability. There was no signs.
Yeah.
We never had a sign. It just came like, I can't poop. And a couple weeks later, went to see a doctor, and snowball from there. But
I forget the procedure. Every year is supposed to get a endoscope thing up the buttocks, and they look inside.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah,
That's
that's like
it.
once every 10 years or something like that.
One
It's
every
not
year.
once
And
every
he's
year.
young.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
for older
Yeah.
guys, it's once a year. I just had mine. It's like,
Oh,
that's in there.
Wow. Okay.
We're not too
Excellent.
happy about that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, the
rather
privileges
invasive.
you get. Sorry.
Yeah.
The privileges you earn as you get older. Bend over.
I can't remember. Do you two have packaging tape? Sorry, my neighbor's messaging me. No, I don't have packaging tape because I sent it to. I used it to send to Courtney.
Oh.
I forget what it is. It's a common thing. It's a common disability. It's gonna bug me. I want to know what this
It's
is.
Uncle Al's bacon milkshake.
Why don't you
It's with
describe
an-
that
it's with
again,
an-
Uncle Al, for the
It's with
audience
an
that didn't
M.
hear?
It's with an M. The disability.
Refreshing. Let's see.
Muscular dystrophy?
Espresso
No.
or strawberry
Cerebral-
flavoring milk.
Cerebral palsy, I think it is.
Oh, cerebral palsy.
Okay.
That sounds right.
So that's
That's
something
right.
he had since he was born then.
He had that a
Probably.
long time. Yeah, he had that
Yeah.
a long time. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it was. Because I'm reading it here. Is one of the most common developmental disabilities in people with spastic CP can't relax their muscles or the muscles may be stiff. It
Mhm.
affects both arms and both legs. A person might need to use a wheelchair. So he only had it in his arm. Like, so if you ever saw him, he would always have his arm like kind of like this, like
Yeah.
like kind of dang
Mhm.
like that,
Yep.
Um,
When it's not
but
as
he
severe
worked
like
around
that,
it.
yeah, they
he worked-
can. When it's not as severe and it's like that, they can work around it. We
We-
had a girl at the barn who just had it in her leg. I knew another girl who had it in her leg and partially her arm, and she worked with therapists, and the therapist actually was able to get her to relax the arm down to where
Yeah.
that wasn't even as noticeable.
Oh wow,
And then
nice.
she had another surgery to where they were able to help her with even her gait, and so it's really difficult to tell that she even
Yeah.
suffered
Yeah,
from.
I had several proud moments with him. When like he was very, to put it in easier terms here, he was very pro Second Amendment.
Mhm.
And being that he was disabled in one hand, he used to use a revolver because it's easy to manipulate with one hand.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get a pistol, a semi-automatic, and he was worried about the slide not
Yeah.
being way too heavy
Yep.
because he was thinking he could put it in his hand, grip it, and
Mhm.
slide it forward. He had many ideas, so he ended up getting one, a small one, and he struggled. He struggled. I remember seeing him struggle to figure out how to he would pull
Grip
and
it.
shake, and
Yeah.
one day he just he figured it out. He would just clamp on and just clack clack.
Yeah,
just do
push
it.
it forward. Yep.
The other problem that he had, and I actually built him something out of a piece of 2x4, was how he would load the bullets into the magazine, because you need both hands. You need to hold the magazine.
Yep.
You need to put the
Mhm.
bullet in. You need to push with one thumb, push it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's both hands
Yeah, some of them
and
you have to kind of like push in and then push
down.
down.
And so what
Like,
he couldn't do it. It's impossible. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I brought my pistol over so he could practice, and it was just impossible for him to do. And what I ended up doing, he eventually got it, but what I ended up doing was I got him a piece of 2x4, piece of wood, and I dremeled out a hole the size of the bullets that would go in his gun. And I cut out a hole just deep enough to where it was almost flush. And what he would do with his good hand is he would take a round, put it in that hole, take the magazine, push it, put it on top, and push it and slide it off, and it would load the round. And he would just manually just do that one at a time, and he managed. He got pissed off because he's very stubborn Italian,
Mhm.
and I can't keep doing this, and this, he's just he has to. And he started practicing, and sooner or later, put the magazine in his hand, started clack clack clack. He didn't go fast, but he managed to
Yeah.
do it on his own.
No, that's cool.
Right.
His-
Kaiser
he-
Wilhelm in World War One, the first German guy for World War One. He didn't have a good arm, so he cut it off. He got it off his left arm, and he had a wooden hand. And what he did was had a custom built Luger to strap onto his wooden arm, and you
Wow.
could pull it like that, and it'll load the Luger. The way you talk about the magazines, he had something similar to that.
Yeah.
But he put the magazines down and he had a lever and it will load all 8 rounds and he could slap it into the Luger.
Yeah.
And he used to go hunting with that with that Luger.
That's
It was
crazy.
weird looking because it's strapped to his arm.
So that's literally a firearm.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
That's
It
great.
belonged to
A real firearm.
Kaiser. Right. It was a real firearm, but it belonged to Kaiser Wilhelm because he had a deformed left arm. He says, cut it off. And they
Yeah.
cut it off and they put a wooden arm on it with hand and it could move. I got to show you a kid, Courtney, how to make a fake hand that moves with soda straws and strings. And you say, here, play this for mommy. Put it in the refrigerator, get it cold, and you put it on their bed. And then pull the string and let it see the hand grab them.
Right.
That'll scare the hell out of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
You have so many good ideas.
You know, the thing with him, with my buddy, it was amazing because I never really knew anyone that had a disability like that. Like I knew my grandfather had one. It was an accident he had long time ago, so he couldn't walk smooth like normal. He had a slight limp, but an actual physical disability like that, I never met anybody like that, and it opened up my eyes to how people are. You know, some people are different. You know what I mean? I don't know how
Yeah.
else to say. Like they struggle with their own ways, and it's amazing to see firsthand how they do things differently to get around that and not let their disability affect them. And I remember when we went out shooting, he took my 12 gauge, and I'm like, "What are you gonna do with that?" Like, like he's like, I was like, "Do you think you can shoot it?" And he's like, "I don't know, man." I was like, do it. He had arms, dude. This guy was buff. Like, his arm was like 3 of mine. Like this guy was built. And he took my 12 gauge single-handedly. Just and so he would shoot it, bah, and then he would like bring it back, kind of clamp it with his other arm, and with his good hand, rack it and shoot it. Rack it. And he did all that one hand. He shot an AR-15
Wow.
with one hand.
That's amazing.
That's
Like
crazy.
he rode motorcycles. Nothing stopped him. Nothing ever stopped him since
Wow.
it's literally like having I wouldn't say a normal friend, but like, you know what I mean? It was like he never had a disability. Like
Yeah.
it was so great to see him overcome stuff,
Yeah. I like to see people like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's inspirational.
It is. I saw my sister like
He
that.
saved my life, you know that? Like, and I think about that sometimes when the thought comes across my mind. And when he passed away and my friend and I did like a celebratory live stream, like I cried saying that. I really cried. Like, and some of you might not know, but I have a pacemaker, and a few years ago, my battery just died. Just like I felt it just pump. And sometimes I would feel that and it would come back, like, it would be normal. But this time I felt it and it never came back. And I knew after 2 weeks, I knew like, okay, something's wrong, because I can feel my heartbeat a lot heavier than normal. And I'm having like, I wouldn't say trouble. I could make it up the stairs, but I was super tired going up like 14 stairs, like dead tired. So I knew from experience that my pacemaker was having issues, and he kept just insisting, dude, go get a checkup, go see the doctor. He kept pushing me to the point where I got so irritated. And I'm like, fine, I'm gonna go. And I called and I made an appointment. Sure enough, my pacemaker was so dead. It was like the doctors were like, how are you alive? And
Wow.
they wanted to do surgery. They said they wanted to do surgery tomorrow. Then they changed it to today, and then they changed it to right now. And I was like, no, I can't do that. It's gotta be in a few days. Like I can't do that right now, because I had some like things to take care of with the bank before I did that. And yeah, I had my surgery, had a new pacemaker implanted in me, which is the one I have now. And yeah, and I told him, I'm like, dude, my battery was dead. I was literally pacing on whatever little bit of juice it had and my own heart rate, which means my heart could go down to like 20 beats per minute at night, because your heart rate drops when you're sleeping. And I could have had heart failure in the middle of my sleep and never woke up.
Wow.
And I told him that, and And yeah, he saved my life. I even get a little emotional thinking about it. Like just
Wow, that's crazy. Like,
That is.
yeah.
what would we do without you, Viper?
I know.
Oh, I'd be somewhere bugging you.
In your house,
Somewhere
in that house of
somewhere or
yours.
another. But yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Forgot
Yeah,
why.
my sister, I always looked up to her. She was born with a deformity that looked like those pills, like back in the day that the women were taking. Patty, do you remember that? And they had a lot of the deformities.
Yeah, the thalidomide.
Yeah, and my
Thalidomide
mom had
babies.
never taken it, but my sister was born around the same time that was going on, and it looked like that. It was really odd that,
Mhm.
but of course that was the time when you could drink and smoke and, it was okay while you're pregnant.
Yeah.
So who knows what could have done it.
Well, that's
Yeah, well, and
those
there's
are,
other things too. Sometimes it's a genetic thing that's from
Yeah,
God knows where. So
hidden in the genes, but
those
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
those
she
are the
was with
reasons.
both arms like that, like to where they just stopped. And
Wow.
then she has I think it's 3 fingers on one hand and 1 finger on the other, but her wrists start like where our elbows are.
Oh wow.
Oh,
This is
okay.
where,
So very
and I grew
foreshortened
up
then.
with that, and I always looked up to her because she could do everything we could do. She,
Nice.
and it wasn't until later, she hid it really well. Like she had a drug problem, like there's all kinds of other issues. So now it's like her and I had a falling out, and I look like a jerk, but there's so much more to it because you think like, okay, well, they have this disability, and you look at them like, oh, poor them.
But you
But if
don't
they
know
have
the
their brain
backstory.
intact, they can still have malicious thoughts. They can still
Yeah.
be
Oh yeah.
manipulative. They can still have ill intent towards people. And my parents raised her kids for 6 years while she went off on her own.
Wow.
And I was around during that whole time watching them lose it. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
that
think
one night
That's
when you
hard.
did that Viper, it was like trigger.
What?
So sorry,
Yeah.
hon. I didn't, mean to not be able to take it like a joke, but it was. I
Yeah,
used
no,
to
I
stand up
understand.
for her. I used to tell people to F off in malls when they would stare at her when we would be walking through a mall if they would look at her too much. Like once is
Yeah.
okay. Look at her and snicker. No, I was a
Yeah,
young
that's
teen.
Yeah, that's
That's
cruel.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
That's just
I
stupid.
would
And she
never
would have
do
to calm me
that.
down.
What
I've
is
seen
wrong with people?
I've seen people with physical deformations, disabilities, even I don't know how you call them, special, people that are mentally disabled, I should say. I see, I look, I just keep going my own business. Next, move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
stare like, oh my god, like come
Yeah,
on,
those
really?
were the ones I would deal with
Like
that
come
I
on, man. I
couldn't
just
deal with
Yeah, the people that
growing
are
up.
just rude. Well, I have
And even
where
her.
I
Go ahead, Patty.
yeah, where I live, about 8 blocks from me is a foster care home for adult men with
Mm,
mental disabilities. And there was this
yeah.
one, his name is Craig, and I met him first time I saw him, he was urinating at my front gate
Oh my.
facing the house. He was like, mind
That's
now let me
sorry.
horrible.
I don't
don't
mean to.
laugh.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
laugh. This is not funny. It's just it sounds funny, but it really isn't. He had the mind of like about a 5-year-old
5-year-old.
maybe with some
That's what I worry
deficiencies. He had
about
a
for my
brain
son.
injury,
Yeah.
and he used to and so I called the police on him because I didn't know who he was
Yeah, you
then.
didn't know.
And I went down and ID'd him down the street at the 7-Eleven and came back in the car. He never saw me. And later I saw him on the street and realized he had the capacity of a child. And so I engaged him, became a friend of his, and
Yeah.
ended up watching over him on this street.
Wow.
God bless
And I
you,
kept him from
Patty.
getting hit by cars and interfaced with him and other people in the neighborhood. It was crazy. And everybody goes, hey, your boyfriend Craig's out there. But it was the last time I saw him was after Oregon. This breaks my heart. After
Mm,
Oregon defunded the drugs that they needed to take care of the mentally disabled and others, and he came up to my door and he was in tears. He was so broken. Where he'd been staying, they were treating him unkindly, and I could tell his he had become more troubled
Traumatized.
because he was not getting the drugs he needed, and then
medication. Yeah.
they were being not kind to him either. They weren't making sure that he made it out with his diaper on and all this other stuff, you know? And I'm just like, let's just pay the abusers and the neglectors to take care of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
least of these. I mean, how cruel is that?
Yeah.
So that was the last time I saw him. I asked if I could pray with him, prayed with him on my doorstep. And that was the last time I saw him. And I always wondered what happened to him.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully
that's
he got
why.
caught and he got into a better place
I'm
that
sorry,
was a little
Patty.
bit away.
I
Probably.
sure hope so, because
Yeah, me too.
the number of people I've seen on this street that have just been good people with mental incapacities, you know. We had a guy, we used to call him Jesus. He'd come up, he had really long black hair, and we'd have yard sales out in our driveway. And he would always come up and look. I mean, this was about 4 or 5 years this happened. And he never bought anything, he never stole anything. He was just curious, you know. And then he'd walk on down, he lived at the same house. And then there was another guy who used to pick up garbage along here. And I went out and thanked him one day, and he obviously had some kind of traumatic injury.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I just want to thank you. And he goes, it's okay. I do it for Jesus. He was doing it just to be kind to the whole
Aw.
neighborhood.
Right.
And he would
Right
do a mile stretch of picking up garbage for this neighborhood. It was great.
Mm.
Right. What drives me nuts is people treat disabled people like a freak show, which gets me
Yeah.
riled. And I don't trust that because I'm in California and Patty knows what I'm talking about. Some of
Mhm.
these homes are profit
Yeah.
margin homes. They
Yep.
suck.
Yeah.
And I volunteer and I check on them and I check their nursing staff because some of these nurses, well, what do you mean you were a child molester and you got this job? You know,
Right.
and I would raise hell because my church is like, okay, this guy's been abused. Where's his money? And the nursing home would say, and that makes me and the church will go in there and we'll check what the. I don't want to curse.
No,
I'm a
I had
Sunday
to
school
rescue.
teacher.
I was watching something else.
I had to rescue a 95-year-old neighbor who I adored and took care of the last 2 years of her life out of a care facility. I had to rescue her. She died 10 days later
Wow.
because of their egregious neglect.
Yeah,
Right.
we're in that
Oh,
situation
God.
with my mother-in-law. She won't move. She's in Ohio and she will not move. And she is in a facility that even the hospital there, when she goes to the hospital, has told her daughter, who's told, you know, his sister has called, which is her daughter, that they're neglecting her, that they're not taking care of her like they
Yeah.
should. And they filed papers to move her, and then she'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to move." She's not
Oh,
in,
that she's not
not
able
in
to
her right
make that
mind.
decision for
Yeah.
herself. They
And
need
I
to
said
take.
that to him.
They need
My
to be the
mom,
bad guys.
my mom did
Yeah,
that
Oh,
for
the
2 years.
DPOA has to make the decisions.
Yeah, and that's her
yeah.
daughter. She gave that to her daughter with the mental
Yeah.
capacity of like what Patty was saying, like
My mom, which is
much younger person.
my stepmom, I call her my mom. She did that for 2 years for her mom. Her mom developed not Alzheimer's. What's the other one?
Dementia.
Yeah, dementia.
Yeah.
And she had to be in a retirement home, I guess, if you want to call it that, or you know.
Yeah.
And
The
my
kind word
mom,
for it.
yeah, and my
Right.
mom
Yeah.
took care of her mom while going through breast cancer, stage 4 breast cancer. She
Wow.
took care of her mom while her sister didn't give two
Yeah.
poops about her own
Yeah.
mom.
That sounds familiar.
And
Yeah,
and
Right,
Viper,
Bob?
that sounds familiar.
you know,
Mhm.
to see my mom, to see how strong she is today. I mean, to see what she's been through, my God. But you know, you don't think about it because you deal with it every day. It's just normal. But to think about how she went through stage 4 breast cancer, she helped her mom take care of her mom between retirement home. Then then it wasn't getting the care, so she moved her to a different retirement home. She would go see her mom like
Oh my
every
God.
2 days. She would take her out, like out of there and into her car and drive her to the mall or somewhere. Her mom was like, I can't imagine the conversations that they went through, like where her mom
Yeah.
probably didn't remember who she was, stuff
That'd be
like
hard.
that. And then there were days where her mom was all there, and they
Yeah.
had a conversation like
Bubbles.
this, you know. And
We
then
used to
she's
call
like,
it bubbles.
yeah,
Yeah. They have lucid moments or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Yeah, my
eventually,
mom had sundowners. You know.
Oh, yeah.
even eventually her mom passed away, and I was, me, aside from all that, like, living at home, my mom's dealing with her cancer. It's nothing I can do about it. I did a GoFundMe. I did a charity ride with my motorcycle group. I did a lot of stuff to help raise money for her, to help her with the bills. And so that's all I could do. And when her mom passed away and we went to her funeral, by that time I was really, really like furious inside me to see how her side of the family, her sister
Mm-hmm.
and her nephews, never came to check on my mom, on their aunt, on her sister,
Yeah.
to deal with her breast cancer. Never came to check. My mechanic down the street, who doesn't give two craps about anybody, my mechanic, I would go to get an oil change. How's your mom doing? How's your mom doing? Friends of mine, random people, but her own family never said anything. So when the day came for her funeral, I hoped, out of sheer respect, that they would show up for the funeral. But at the same time, I really hope they didn't come at all, because I did not want to be in their presence, because
Yeah.
I was gonna, the funeral was not gonna go so well. It would have been very tense, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And I, out of respect, don't want that to happen. So I was really like, boiling, and they
Mm-hmm.
never came. They never showed up to the funeral. No, nobody. My mom, my dad had to work, because at that time they were struggling with money, so he had to work to get paid that day. So it was my mom, my wife, myself. I had to carry the casket with some other people that they knew. It was a handful of us, maybe like seven,
Mm.
seven
That
of
was
us,
God's grace, though. That was God's grace.
and
Your mother didn't need
Yeah.
to see that either.
you know,
Yeah.
She
That
and
was a
didn't.
mercy.
Yep. That was
and
Completely
it,
a
mercy.
it was
mercy.
tough.
That's
It
right.
was
That's a
tough.
better word, mercy.
It was tough, and still to
Yeah.
this day, according to what my parents said, like, my mom has talked it over with the nephews, and it was like a control thing with their mother and her sister. I don't know the details, but I have an old school mentality, and the way I see things is, if you, I don't want to say the words, but if you have 5 minutes to go to the bathroom and poop, you have 30 seconds to check up on somebody, whether it's your friend or family. So don't
Exactly.
give me any
Yeah.
crap. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
hear it from anybody that they never had an opportunity to say, make a phone call, or go to
Mm-hmm.
the market, or they're at the gas station,
Yeah.
or anything to check up on her, or even message her via text message.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any of that.
Yeah. Because that's
So,
actually
Yeah.
a lot of people's offices who have children at home, like
you
Courtney and
know,
I. Finally, we get a free minute in the bathroom. That's probably when we're doing most.
but the
I'll tell
point
you,
is,
I'll
the
tell you,
point
Clean
is,
our
Quite
phone stuff.
literally.
the
the
point,
ones,
the
the
point,
ones who do the least want the most.
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
That's not
yes,
okay
I
with
Amen to
had
me.
a
that.
horrible time with. Let
Yeah.
me put it to you this way: I finally discovered that my brother and sister were financially manipulating my mom,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
yeah, oh, it was
That's what my
yeah.
half siblings were doing, Bob. I understand.
The,
My half
when mom
sister.
passed away and we divided up what was hers, I told both of them, I never want to see either one of you again, ever.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Get out of my life. I will never
yeah,
forgive you for what you have not done and for what you have done to my
exactly,
mother.
exactly.
Yeah.
No,
That's how
Yeah.
done.
I felt, and that's how my dad felt. My dad, he speaks French. He's French. We're all French. We're from France, but he speaks French very well. But his English is not so. It's 100%, but it's not.
Yeah.
Um, but he said to my mom in his English, he says, "We turned the page. You know what? We didn't even turn the page. We're in the next chapter. We closed the book and we've moved on. That's
God
it.
bless your
Move
dad.
on. They don't
Mhm.
care. Why should you care?" My mom
Mm.
and I and my dad, we had a dinner talk where she cried. She's like, "I want my family back. I want my old."
Yeah.
I'm like, "They don't care."
Yeah.
I
Nothing
told
you're gonna do is
I
gonna
told her, I said,
change
"I'm
them.
not trying to be
Yeah.
mean to you, but
Yeah.
they have not done a single damn thing for anybody in these 2 years. What's gonna make them show up?" Me personally, I don't want to see them. If they show up in front of my door and they say, "Hey, how are you?" I'm not even saying anything. I'm punching them in the face and I'm slamming the door. If
Yeah.
that, I don't ever want to see them
Just
again.
don't open the door.
I don't ever want to hear it. And
That's
like I
sad.
said, like my parents, according to them, they have talked it over with the nephews at least, and I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. To me, for me, I'm that pisses me off so much that you can disrespect your family like that. That doesn't fly with me. And
Yeah.
her sister, apparently her sister, my mom's sister, now she's having like physical problems where she can't walk, she can't go up the second floor of her house anymore. Um, she's had a lot of things, and I don't want to think it's karma. I don't. I maybe it's just old age,
That's beautiful, Doc P.
but do I
Yeah,
feel
that is
bad?
very cool.
I feel bad for her, but at the same time, same thing with her. I'm here. You know where to call. If you don't have my cell phone number, you can call your sister and find out where I am. You have social media, you can find me. Like my birth mom that passed away years ago. I don't know exactly. I think it was like 2018. I can't remember. I have never seen. Okay, I was obviously born from my birth mom. By the age of 3, my dad divorced her. We moved to the United States. By the age of 7, she came to the United States for 1 week and started this whole drama ordeal like she always has, why my dad left her in the first place. I mean, like bad to her, police involved, stuff like that. And when I was 7 years old, that was the last time I ever saw my mom ever in person, ever. And I never seen her ever again till the day she died. And I say the day she died because I had pictures of her, recent pictures of her. And I said, you know what? To my side of the family over there, I have been on social media since it ever existed. If you took 5 minutes to go on the internet and look for my name on Facebook, on MySpace, on Yahoo, on Google, on YouTube, you could find me.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse. If you really wanted to find me, you can find me. Or hey, worst case, ask family that knows somebody and get in touch. I have never talked to my mother in 35 years. Well, a little less than that, 32 years, something like that.
Her loss, Viper.
Exactly.
All right.
I don't know my birth mom. My stepmother is my mom. She's my mother. She's the one
Thank
yeah,
God your dad moved to the States.
yeah. Like
Because
that.
what a woman it sounds like he married, who
Yeah,
became
who
her
knew?
stepmom.
And who knew?
Yeah.
It was a weird like I always say things happen for a reason, and I see stuff happening for a reason. Like we moved from Arizona. So when we lived in New York, my dad and I moved with my grandparents. It was my grandfather, what I call my grandmother, which was my grandfather's mistress, because my real grandmother died when my dad was 21. But we moved to New York, lived there for 10 years. In 94, we moved to Arizona. In 96, my dad and I decided to leave my grandparents, and just the two of us, we moved to Malibu, California. He started working there. We were there for about a year in Malibu. His business was doing some shady things, like illegal. So he called the city inspection, and they shut down his business. The problem with that was we were living where we worked. It was a rehab home,
No.
and
Oh.
so when at that exact time he was seeing somebody he had just met, right? And they I don't know that I never asked them those little details from the moment they met to the moment we moved in, because right when that business got shut down, we left Malibu, we moved to Beverly Hills where my mom was living, and they still live in the same building, and we moved in with her,
Ah.
and we've been for 20 years the same, living together like this. They just got married like not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I don't know why they waited so damn long, but they
Yep. Hey,
but
my son got married after 15 years of living with his girlfriend. So who knows? We're all just really glad they're married now.
but
True.
Yeah.
yeah, but and so like, and going back to like what my friend that passed away last year, like he's very like he's hardcore Italian. Like think about like The Godfather. That's what we always called him. He's like the godfather of the family. We started a group. We started an internet group called The Family, and it was a core group. It was me, another friend of mine in North California, and my friend who passed away. It was just the three of us. And if you were cool and you showed loyalty, honor, and respect, we allowed you to come into our group, our family. Family was like the number one thing for him and for me, and it always is and always will be. And so going back to that, to me, nothing's more important than family, but sometimes you just have to cut your loss on certain people,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I had
know?
to do
You
that
had to.
with my one aunt. My one aunt is a complete nutto.
Right.
I-
Or my
Is that
family,
the biological?
you
Court?
don't want to have family feuds like my family did in in Japan in the 14th and 15th century, because we had a big family feud for 125 years.
Oh,
And
nice.
that was 6 family groups trying to kill each other.
Oh my
It's
word.
father versus son, son versus brother, brother versus father, mother versus son, daughter versus mother and father. It's like I read the family history in Japan during the 15th and 1400s. I'm like, didn't these people have therapy or anything? No, they went each other and they shot each other. They bow and arrow, throw rocks. I had one cousin that killed his uncle by throwing rocks off of a cliff
What
onto
are you
his.
doing, Bob? Are you pooping?
Yeah, your screen is black.
Oh, he
Hold
just deadened his.
Are you
muted
poop?
himself.
Are you
He just
pooping?
muted
Mute.
his-
No,
I just
he-
muted him. Oh, there he is.
He's
Okay.
okay now.
there he is.
Are
Yeah,
you
but
pooping?
I
Mute.
had to run down.
Yeah.
Had to run down to the room.
Oh,
Made
He had to
you-
go to the bathroom.
You know, I got a friend down there.
you got the run? What?
we lost you.
Frustrated.
No,
Yeah,
I just warmed up a
run.
coffee.
Oh,
He
nice.
just got some coffee.
Got himself
Yeah,
some
but
coffee. There
my
you go.
family still had that
Mhm.
trouble because my father, grandfather, and a couple of my uncles, because of what my great uncle did, because he was well connected in the 20s
Mhm.
and the early teens. He knew Pancho Villa. He stole horses from the U.S. Army and sold it to Pancho Villa, and later stole horses from Pancho Villa and sold it to the Mexican government. So he escaped on a plane
That's cool.
to Panama, and from Panama, he rode a horse to Brazil. We have a lot of Satos in Brazil because my uncle, how can I say it? My great granduncle was very prolific. He had a lot of wives.
I was gonna say he
I
was
think-
a Randy fella.
Yeah, he had a lot of wives and mistresses.
He liked the lady.
He was
Like,
Yeah.
It is staying.
He enjoyed his life.
Him.
He
That's
enjoyed
why-
There's an
it.
old
Oh, my
saying in
word.
Portuguese: if there's a Sato in Portugal or in Brazil, it's my uncle.
Oh wow.
That's hilarious.
It's so hilarious because I'm like, how many people in Portugal are related to us?
Right?
35,000. I'm like, excuse me, how many? And then sometimes I get phone
Fun.
calls at night. Hi, I'm your cousin, great 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 cousin from your great uncle. Can you loan us money? No. Click.
Yeah, really.
No.
Because it
Sure you are.
gets
No.
really strange when my relatives, and then he moved to Peru he had to change his name, and I find out that one of my cousins from his side of the family used to be the president of Peru. I can't remember what Japanese name he used. It was he's like a president of Peru for a while, and then they took him off of office because
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm just walking off.
my granduncle was, how can he say it? I think we have relatives in South Africa,
Who's that for?
Australia.
Because I was like, wait, seriously, I can't. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was talking. Sorry.
That's all right. South Africa, Australia. He met a whole bunch of people throughout his life, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. What do you mean he mugged Winston Churchill in South Africa? You know, like I wrote to the Churchill family, I am very sorry. Here's your watch back. Because I was wondering, whose watch is this?
Seriously.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. My great uncle mugs Winston Churchill during the South African
God,
Wars.
snatched his watch. Lord.
It's like,
That
what did great uncle
Churchill was
do?
in a prison war camp during the Boer War. He was a prisoner.
Yeah,
He was a tough
that's where
guy.
he got. That's
Yeah.
where he got mugged.
All right, just
Mhm.
stop that.
What is that?
This is cookie butter ice cream.
Oh, lovely.
Whatever. Talk to the hand. Nobody wants to hear
That's
it.
okay. It's
This
right.
is cookie butter ice cream.
Oh my
He
lord.
just did. You're so funny.
Yeah, and then my grandfather.
You see me, Courtney?
Yeah, my grandfather. When we sold the farming property in Japan outside of Tokyo, we found 2 people buried in the backyard.
Oh wow.
Wait,
Oh,
I can't do this. There.
My
Did he
Because
ever
God.
I
go to
thought,
Did he ever
You know what
come
I
to the
had in my
Pacific
diet today? I had
Northwest?
3/4
you
of
know,
an
it's
Which
so
one?
funny.
Oh, sorry.
which
Go ahead.
one, Bob? My
Uh,
family's all over the place. They're in
yeah.
Canada, Alaska.
Here.
Whatchamacallit, he played poker in
Courtney,
Alaska with
give me the
Wyatt
spoon.
Earp.
I think that
Wait.
the wife of a pastor at one of the churches I
Courtney,
went to
give
is
me the
actually
spoon.
related to you. Her
Who?
name was Sato. Her last name was Sato.
Oh God!
I'm not kidding.
Just get
There.
close to your,
Run,
go, get
Patty,
close to your camera.
run.
Oh God!
Well,
It's
she-
probably one
she's
of my
not-
lost cousins.
All right, go.
Yeah.
Give me my
Anyway.
spoon. Hang on, Courtney's give me the spoon so I
Her
can eat my ice
mother
cream.
was a doll. I loved her mother. I'd never.
Thank
I'm
you.
not gonna
She
do
was
it.
just the friendliest person. But
Right.
her husband was interesting. I'll just say that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So
Mm.
you know,
Patty?
there was.
How do they spell their last name in Sato? Because there's 5 branches of my family. So how do they spell their last
I
name?
think her
Satow or Sato or Satou Satou or I or E?
SATO, just SATO,
Oh God,
simply.
relatives. Like I said, my uncle and my grandfather was all over the world before they settled down and became. I'm a postman now, but you drink
You sure he wasn't
tequila.
a milkman?
What?
Put it on bump.
Now,
Good one,
No,
Courtney.
because the postman always rings twice.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I know,
Over
but
there, Herman, Mrs. Jones gets milk in the morning, and the same guy comes back in the afternoon to deliver the mail.
Hey, Jared.
There was a
Thanks for coming
joke.
Exactly.
There was, oh my God, there was a naughty joke, and it was with the kid that was like, telling. Oh God, I gotta find it online. It's funny. It's I don't want to say it because I'm gonna ruin it if I try to say it.
Yeah, well, you find it and then you can tell it.
Mhm.
That's pretty funny. Well, I know we were talking about, when a family member dies or whatever, when somebody becomes indigent. There we go.
Mhm.
That you'll see families just change.
Yeah.
Just like overnight. I mean,
Yep.
my big brother, he sat there at the table with my younger brother and I when my dad passed away in 91. And he looked at us just deadpan and said, I get whatever I want because I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
And we just laughed at him. Said, no way. What century do you think this is?
Exactly. That's how I was being treated because I was the
That's-
baby. That's exactly how I was being treated like that by my half siblings.
Yeah.
And this marriage was the marriage where I was created. The other
Yeah.
marriages they came from. And then it was like
Yeah.
the Brady Bunch, and I was Alice in the middle.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
it was like, Mike
Yeah.
and Carol and their children, and then another
Mhm.
child and me, and then I don't know who would go in the blank. But yeah, that was kind of how my siblings were acting, my sisters, because they were
Yeah.
older, they deserved
Well, I
everything,
know.
yet they weren't helping my mother at all.
Yeah,
Anytime
it's like
at all.
my neighbor across the street. Ben bought this house because Vernis lived across the street. She
Mhm.
had helped his mother get a job when they first moved here to the Portland area when Ben was 13. And back then, if you had dark skin of any kind, you were, you were
Yeah. Yeah.
that black person.
Yeah.
So anyway, she got Vernis was head seamstress at a clothing store here, Lippman Wolf Clothing. And so Jean got the job there, and she just became like the adopted aunt. And so Ben watched over her all those years. When I married Ben, Vernis was taking care of her indigent sister who had dementia.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there talking to Vernis and her sister Thelma, meeting Thelma for the first time. She goes, I said, well, Thelma, where do you live? She goes, oh, I just live in Houston. I just walked over here. Like it was just around the corner. You know, it was some of the stories I've got to tell about her, but she took care of Thelma, even though she could barely hear and see herself and weighed maybe 90 pounds. And Thelma was probably, I would guess, close to 150, you know, and out of her mind. And then when she passed away, then Vernis started declining. But the kids, her nephew, who she basically raised, and her adopted daughter, who had a grudge against her mother because she put her in boarding school one year, I guess, when she was in junior high or something. All they wanted to do was come and get what they could out of the things that she had. And Ben and I basically took care of whatever Vernis needed and helped her live in that house until the day she died.
Who
It
is
was really
Boop?
sad.
What?
Anybody?
Who's what?
What?
I had somebody try to join my stream under the name of Boop, B-O-O-P.
I
Don't
have
know.
no idea.
I don't
Don't
know.
know.
I said boop to you when I came in.
Never heard of him.
I think. I don't know
Oh,
who would do that.
I don't know.
That's odd.
Who
Sorry,
was that?
Boop. We
I
don't
don't know.
know
They
Boop.
just disappeared now. But I won't. If you want to be on my live, you have to show your face. 2, if you're down there and your name is not somebody I recognize, I'm not going to let you on.
Yeah,
Sorry, folks.
exactly.
Yeah, we don't want child molesters or killers or criminals on the live stream.
Nor
Fran, I hope you
exhibitionists
find
and
your
all those other things.
No, I don't want nothing to do with those things. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
None of
No,
that.
thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking of you, Viper, when you said that, all the things that you would say. I accidentally was in a very bad state of mind, and my sister had me up in her room with a closed door and basically told me what Patty's brother said to her. I mean, like, I'm going to take everything. I'm going to take the car. This is a sister that's been away for 6 years.
Wow.
Mhm.
Actually more, and my parents raised the kids, and I watched the kids go berserk on my parents and steal things from my parents.
Wow.
And she's telling me how she's going to take everything. I went downstairs. My mom is going loopy, and I don't know why. Well, that was the beginning of the strokes and the dementia, and I
Right.
didn't know. Dad has ALZ,
Mm.
and she was supposed to actually move. That was why I was up there. She was going to move then down to Florida, so I was there to help pack and get things ready. And my mom just started going off, and I'm not going with you, and you raise your voice. It was just all this weird stuff. And then I started yelling because I had had like a Red Bull that day just to stay awake. My Malachi wasn't sleeping. I was on they had to give me a court order so I could leave the state with him. And my sister's telling me like, oh, your nephew's coming. Well, my nephew has a warrant open for him in Florida. And I'm thinking, here I have a ward of the state in my care, and somebody with a warrant in my state who's related to me is going to show up and be in the house with me.
Wow.
I've got all that in my head at once, and I
Freaking
just
out.
started, you mother effing blah, blah, blah. I lost it. And out of my mouth comes just like what you think, like, oh, that person had this so mean. Like if you hear somebody call somebody with a disability, like you're a waste, and how could you even been born? Out of my mouth to my own sister comes, what a waste. I can't believe your life was such a waste. Because I was so furious with her that she used my parents so bad, had nothing to do with her disability, because I never
Yeah.
saw my sister as
Yeah.
disabled. But imagine that she now had that on me with the rest of the family, that came out of her mouth. And my mom heard me say it. And my mom had no context of what had just happened up in the room.
Right.
Nor did she believe me because my sister was so manipulative.
Yeah.
So I had all that, and I was thinking, well, that's over. I'm never probably going to see my parents again. I left. I had to stay in a hotel. I left their house. I had to stay in a hotel just to get myself to drive home. So by God's mercy, Viper, they
Mute
didn't
that.
show
Mute
up
that.
that day. What is
Mute
that?
it.
Wait, is
Bob,
that you, Bob?
Yes, that's
that?
him.
What I
He
wanted.
was looking at us waiting for a response. I wasn't going to give him
No,
one.
I think he's expressing himself through music. What you
all
would have
right.
done.
That's my wife my wife shooting a pump shotgun today. We went out target shooting today. There we go. She's an
What
animal.
kind does she have? What kind do you guys have?
Mossberg.
Oh, I so wanted a Mossberg. I couldn't find them. But
That's what I
I'm not
have.
gonna get in trouble for that, am I, Viper?
No.
Okay.
no, because he's not showing it. He's just it's just a sound effect.
So
Right.
I found that little dirty.
I don't think so. I'm not knowing anything. It's just a sound.
Yeah, it's just a sound.
I found that dirty naughty joke. So we were
Uh-oh.
talking about like
Has
earlier,
to be
like
PG-13.
the way it's written. It is the way it's written out. It
It's
is.
written.
Yeah, just use your own imagination if you want to go to a higher rating. So it says, because we were talking about like I think we were talking about like kids and parents. I don't know. We were talking about sex and I don't know. A second ago, right? Like a minute ago, and we were just talking. I had a joke. So here's a joke. It says, a little boy walks into his parents' room to see his mom on top of his dad bouncing up and down. The mom, hang on. The mom sees her son and quickly dismounts, worried about what her son has seen. She dresses quickly and goes to find him. The son sees his mom and asks, What were you and dad doing?" The mother replies, "Well, you know your dad has a big tummy and sometimes I have to get on top of it to help flatten it." "You're wasting your time," said the boy. "Why is that?" asked his mom, puzzled. "Well, when you go shopping, the lady next door comes over and gets on her knees and blows it right back up."
Oh,
That's
oh
not
my God.
PG-13. I'm
I
sorry.
don't think that takes much of an imagination.
No, that was pretty plain there.
That
Oh,
was kind
no.
of X-rated.
Okay.
You're a little dirty
Courtney's
there,
looking
Viper.
at you.
No, we're talking about with that weight loss. You know, the doctors when they have surgery and they remove your those surgeries to remove your belly. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
What are those called? Gastric
When were we
bypass?
talking about gastric
No,
bypass? When did I
gastric
miss
bypass.
that?
We
There
weren't
you go.
talking.
Hey, I tease my wife. I tease my wife about that kind of stuff all the time in text messages. You know, I'll say, "Hun, girlfriend number 3, 4, and 6 are here, and they won't leave until they get more money. Put some more in my account." You should see the responses I get back.
I saw one guy do that to his wife, like, "Honey, you gotta hide. Girlfriend's coming over." She's like, "What? You know, your girlfriend's right here. What are you talking about? Did you see that? It was like a short."
I like
And
the
she's-
I like
and
like
she's
the
I've
little,
Remember,
done things
Bob,
like
the
that to
wife
her,
is
too.
Filipino
Like-
and she has a bolo.
I like the little short the Instagram, the TikToks where it's a little TikTok short where the boyfriend drives the girlfriend to the ex-girlfriend's house and then but he does it on purpose and he's like, "All right, see you later," and he's like, and the girl's like, "This isn't my house." So, "What do you mean this isn't your house?" "Oh crap." And then the video ends there. Or he's like, or she's like, "That's not my car." Yeah, like I drive a Mercedes, like but then they find out it's funny. You got to watch it to understand.
Yeah, usually when my missus comes home, she opens the garage door right there, and this is, and
then
just
the
once in
chandelier,
a while,
the chandelier
I'll-
comes down and down.
No. I'll kick the door open that goes into the house right over that direction. I'll start screaming, "Run, girls! Get your clothes!" And
Oh no! Oh, you're so
Ouch!
bad. One day,
Froze.
one day she's gonna come in and you're gonna say that and you're just gonna hear.
Yeah, you'll hear that sound that you just played for us.
Yeah. Or worse, she's Filipino and she got the
And the
bolo out.
neighbors will be like,
Mhm.
"What is
I'm keeping
Get
this.
out of the house."
But like I said, folks, my granduncle, I hate to say it, but he was a bad boy in what country was it? I'm trying to
You have
remember.
International bad boys in your family, Uncle Al.
No, my granduncle rode horses until 1926, and everybody rode cars, and he got 2 years for stealing cars in Pittsburgh.
He's a
Whatchamacallit?
sociopath.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. I don't know if anybody. Yeah,
What?
I'm sorry for the late responses on my Dr. Pepper. I answered just now. Sorry,
Yeah, mine were.
I was
I left
busy.
mine.
Yeah, I was busy
left mine.
listening to you guys that I forgot to chat.
Yeah,
Me
sorry
too.
about that, guys. But like I said, my granduncle was, how can I say it? He was a bent nose kind of guy. Even
Gambler.
the Yakuza was kind of afraid of him. I'm
Mm.
even afraid of him. He's been dead for 130 years, and I'm still afraid of him because he was a tough guy. I mean, seriously, when I hear his adventures, I'm going, oh my God, do they have warrants out on you? Yes, in 11 states and 16 countries. I'm like, that was back in 72. And I found out his death, he died in Japan. He got up, he smoked, drank tequila, go visit my grandfather or great grandfather, got hit by a bus,
Sorry.
got up,
This was
walked
after he
to.
was dead. He got up and had a cigarette and drank
How was
tequila. I
how was
missed
the
the glitch there.
was the bus okay?
No, the bus was fine. My grandfather was fine.
Passenger
Beat up the bus driver.
Oh, lagging.
Went over to his 16-year-old girlfriend's house, spent the night,
Oh my God.
smoked, ate dinner and stuff, went to his mistress and complained about the bus, and then he died.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Because
How
At the
at the
weird.
time he was like 100.
him.
At the time he was like 103 or 104. We lost track because he never had a birth certificate, and they found like he had a switchblade, a Model 3 Smith & Wesson Russian. This is Japan. My family was shocked. And he also had a machine gun. I'm like, where the hell did he get this? Oh, during the war, he hid stuff.
in Japan, or is that Chinese gang?
What is this?
That's Chinese.
Chinese.
And they're
what
also
do they
looking
have in
for
Japan? What's the
Yakuza.
The what?
Yakuza. That's both in Yakuza, both in Japan and Korea.
It's the-
And
like
in
the
China,
mafia.
the triad.
Mhm.
I think that's where he got the machine gun because during World War II, he was kind of relocating certain goods on the black market.
that's
If
what
you
came
paid
to
them
mind.
well, you get like spam or something, penicillin or something like this.
Penicillin's a good one when you live that life.
Yeah, but it was kind of spooky because my cousin showed me the oh my God, that's a World War II machine gun. And I'm like, what did great granduncle do? Oh, he did a lot of things and he retired. He's a bookstore seller. He sells books and comic books and stuff like that and candies. I'm like,
It'll make you look at
excuse me,
comic
the
book
guy
stores.
has a Smith & Wesson, one of those big cowboy guns, Smith & Wesson. He had a
Yeah.
switchblade and he had a machine
The barrel
gun.
this long.
And he drank tequila at
Bigger than
103.
anything John Wayne ever hit.
Yeah.
With,
And he drank tequila and had a 16-year-old
armor.
girlfriend and a mistress. I'm like, and he was only 5 foot, short guy.
God,
I'm taller.
this is-
I'm 5'6", but he was a really
Dude, they
short.
should make a statue to this guy.
I
He'd
mean,
be cheap because it would be
He's
short.
my idol.
You know what's trippy about? I keep looking at fishes at your background. It's it's trippy because you have a map, so it looks like the ocean is moving.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's a
looking at
nice
him,
background, by the way.
Yeah, I bet they never lost his urine sample.
right?
no, he probably shot him. And then we find out from my grandfather's other kids,
Urine sample.
Lord, it's like, don't they understand? Use a condom.
Medication.
It's like, who's this? Well, that's your
Medication.
cousin from your cousin's side because he didn't have a condom. And I'm like, what do you mean I have new cousins or nephews or? And it's like, excuse me. And I'm like,
I don't think he meant it that way, Viper. Did.
No, he says,
What?
oh, no, because he's like, use a condom, and I hear him say medication time.
Medication
Like
time.
what?
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Randall.
That's just how I heard
Mr.
it. So I don't
Randall,
know.
you're not allowed it.
Gosh, I need church. Oh,
Oh,
You know,
Lord.
Nurse Ratchet. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
Nurse.
I got it too. I knew what he was looking at.
Right. It's like
Aaron.
Oh,
the
no.
problem with my family was they did not take tattoos, and I was questioning about the missing digits.
I smell
They
diesel.
didn't take tattoos because they were ostracized out of the Yakuza for being too rough and mean.
Yakuza.
I'm like, what?
You don't mess with the Yakuza.
Yeah, because Yakuza, you get tattoos and you get a ranking. But my grandfather and his brothers, great grandfather and his brothers,
Why isn't
how
it
can I
turning
say
on?
it? How can I say it properly? Because I don't want Courtney to get in trouble. I can't think of the term. It's
I'm
not
turning it off.
roustabouts.
Shut up.
I'm
You always
trying to
got
think
something
of
to say.
I can't think of the term of the word.
What for what?
There weren't in the gangster family, but there were outsiders. I can't think of the word of it.
Associates.
No, some of us different than associates. It's like they get the job done and they don't care which side they kill.
Okay.
Oh, like a contract.
Yeah.
Contractor.
Yeah, subcontractor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
something
much.
like that. Because
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
was
care.
just a contractor for the mob.
Gorillas.
That's just a
Yeah.
weird, really weird
They
way
didn't
to
care
do
who
that.
they worked. They worked for the Americans, the Russians, the Chinese,
I covered my
Korean.
camera because I'm
Pooping?
carrying.
Yeah. Sure.
Is it
Oh,
Beijing?
Getting out the
Beijing?
blow out
Beijing?
tear my head.
related.
The guy Jean's a white guy.
Hugh Kitchen and
Mercenaries.
Beale
That's
said
the word I
mercenaries.
was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Wave warriors.
Yeah, I think they were mercenaries because I find stuff about our past history is like, are you sure we're not criminals? Oh
Hey,
no, they're
so-
doctors and they're doctors and lawyers.
Check this
And
out.
The right cows.
I just Googled
Hmm.
Yakuza gang. I literally just Googled that, and it says it has 18,600 active members right now.
Scary.
That's scary.
No, that's reduced. It used to be over 100,000, but the Yakuza is so tough, nobody wants to join them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. Although Yakuza membership has declined since the implementation of the Anti-Boryokudan Act in '92, there are still approximately 28,200 active Yakuza members in Japan as of 2019.
Hmm,
Wow.
Crazy. Hmm.
Do they not? They don't allow you to be tattooed in Japan, do they?
If you get a tattoo, that means you're certain Yakuza clans. If you don't get tattoo, you're a samurai or you're an outsider like a Ronin, like Darren says. But nobody gets tattoos in Japan. It's not kosher.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
it like,
kids, I gotta-
like the Jewish people where they can't get it and be buried? Like, is it a spiritual?
Yeah, it's a
thing?
big thing in Japan to
Yeah.
get tattoos because it divides the underworld from the underworld from the common folk to the higher nobility. And my families were kind of nobles, but we're the black sheep. So there's like 1 million people have to die, and then I take over as emperor. But the
You'll get
weirdest, the weirdest part is we're considered the black sheep throughout Japan because, like, oh, that's why you changed your family name because the other branches of my clan they changed their name. We're not associated with those folks.
Wow.
And it's like it's kind of embarrassing. We have a few folks that are relatives in Korea. Oh, we're not Japanese, but your bloodline's same as these. No. We're sorry, we're Koreans. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Or like what was my nephew told me? I might have relatives.
Hang on, Uncle Al, hang on. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta get off here, you guys. My back's been out and
No.
I've gotta move, so I'm dying here.
Okay, I
Oh,
understand.
It's
Patty.
been a lot of
Patty. I was
fun.
just
Thanks,
thinking of you
guys. I'm
today.
glad that
Love
I
you, girl.
got to spend some time here on your live stream there, Courtney.
I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Love you.
Same.
Too.
Don't
Have a
stay out
good
of
one.
trouble. Stay out of trouble. Not too
Okay.
much trouble, remember.
I'm not drinking. So should
I'm
be
not
good.
drinking.
Not
I'm
even
not
water. It's way over there.
Stay out of trouble. The only one to say something.
Right.
I'm not drinking.
Right. Let's see. Darren,
Yeah.
it's not the Dino family. That's a replacement family. Mine's from the original stock. Long time ago in the 15th century, and we're kind of, how can I say it? They don't recognize us because our family was the original of the wheel. And they kind of looked at us like, no. That's the wrong kind of class. And then I said, no, this is our bloodline. And yeah, because your great great ancestor was a courtesan. Courtesan?
Cortisone.
Like
Cortisone.
cortisone, like we have here about the
A
cortisons.
little bit different. That was
Cortisone.
like,
It's
the
not
co-
cortisone.
right.
You
Courtesan.
have it actually. It was a French thing, wasn't it?
Cortisone.
What is that?
Because,
Cortisone.
because
Yes,
she
cortisone. That's it.
broke all the rules as a Japanese lady, and she got
Well,
property and
That's a bit
titles and
from.
stuff. How can I say it politely?
I
She
would-
worked her way up.
I would not want to do Ancestry.com with Uncle Al.
right?
Probably were related. I have a few during World War One. I had a couple uncles worked in France.
Can you imagine the tree? One person. Actually, it starts with two, right? Obviously, and then it just goes like it just it just keeps going.
The tree turns into like some kind of weird
Bush
bush.
No, my family says my family line is like
and
kudzu.
vine.
You know what kudzu is, right?
Yeah, like kudzu. That's a better one.
Yeah, it
Takes
just
over
all ate that small town, ate a cow, ate the road, ate the telephone pole, ate the
If you ever
telephone
drive
wire.
through Georgia, you'll know what kudzu is. You
Yeah.
drive up Georgia. It's all over the poles. It goes up the
Yeah.
electric poles.
I think it's
all
beautiful in
over
some cases.
everything.
Oh, it is.
My family tree
And,
grows
and,
straight
and
up.
when they
There's
do
no
the side of the
branches or nothing.
houses,
Oh.
What was that? What, Bob?
His family tree goes
I'm
straight
concerned
up.
about your family
Straight
tree
up.
there, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I know.
yeah, I
fell
was
in-
saying like
I fell in
it's-
love with my banjo teacher. She was my second cousin.
Heard that joke.
But
Yeah,
And
Dr.
I thought you
Pepper.
meant Jesus, and I was like, "Yay, Jesus!" And then he's going all.
My family doesn't associate with samurai because there's a rumor that we killed them and ate them in the 17th century by accident. We were starving and they took all
they
our
were
rice
kinda
and
chunky,
food.
weren't they? They were a little.
No,
chunky.
they were goat skins and goat skin pants, and they spoke a weird dialect of Japanese, and they lived in the mountains. We
So
were
they didn't
considered.
look like Tom Cruise.
No, they looked like hillbillies from Japan. They had beards and they had goat skin vests and
like
short
Bob's
goat skin.
Deliverance
Oh, those are the
family and
original.
Japanese.
those are the indigenous people, the original. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
what are they
know.
called? And I just
I
learned about them today.
I knew.
I knew. Yeah, I just heard about them today. And they have a specific tradition and they dance and they get together. They wear their out. Like, I just watched it today. It was so cool.
Yeah, my family is the other branch of the Ainu that
Still
nobody
to
wants
this
to.
day, the Ainu is still like the outsiders.
Right. They don't want to talk because the Ainu and there's an Ainu and Ishinu branch. They don't talk about that branch because they used to eat people. And they were kind of really backwards. They used to kill people with spears and throw rocks on them. So if you're a lone samurai, they just, oh, come and kill us, and run away. And you're a samurai and you got a sword and you're chasing after them. And then you look around like, I'm in a box canyon. And next thing, we have the sword, we have his armor. And guess what's for dinner?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they'll throw rocks on him and then stab him
I was tenderizing
with
the meat.
fire heated.
the meat tenderizer, those little mallets with the spikes. Doosh, 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 doosh.
But so they were making this specific dish, and it had salmon in it. It was a soup that had salmon in it, and it was their dish. Like, So
I
I
had
was
that 2 nights ago with carrots and potatoes and lotus root.
Yeah.
It's a family dish. It goes down in history. But like I said, I have a weird family tree, so I don't trust it anymore.
Salmon sounds good right now.
It's more
Fish
like a
sounds
salmon
good. I've been
stew.
wanting fish so badly.
I've been wanting.
That's
So
one
we
thing I
can eat
can't.
the brains.
That's one thing I can't wait when we go to
Snow
Tennessee is
crab.
to go fishing.
Right. We didn't eat brains, Q.
I can't wait. I want to buy myself just a piece of crap, like just basic little tin boat. I don't need anything super fancy, and then just go fishing. You know.
Go over to Bob's Coast. They're great fishing for salmon. And
Yes,
then you can
sir.
see the great whites.
I just
And
saw
the
a video where
orcas
these
and-
two fishing kids
Oh, don't even start with
rescued
orcas.
the turtle out of a tiger shark's, like, well, they didn't take it right out of his mouth. The tiger shark released it, and they backed up and grabbed the turtle.
Excuse me, sir.
before
Can I
the-
have this turtle back? Yeah, sure. Here you go.
You're Mr. 20-foot shark.
Thanks,
That-
dude.
There's nothing more scary to me than a great white shark.
Just it's not.
I'm
not-
even scared to look at him on TV.
It's not scary. All you got to think is, "Hi, Bruce," and that's it.
Oh, well.
You know what? I've
Helps a little.
I've observed the most interesting and actually pretty dangerous water predator is they're not the ocean otters, the river otters here. They are enormous. Yeah,
Really?
yes, and they will go right through a river and grab a fish out, and they're extremely intelligent. But you don't want to get too close because if they decide to come after you, you haven't got a chance. They're going to tear you to pieces. I guarantee.
Right.
Wow.
And they're like Filipinos. Not one's going to attack you. There's going to be 5 or 6 river otters.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they what's it like pack?
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, the big. Wait, the pacu? Are we talking about again? Like you?
No, we're talking about
river otters. They get
Oh, river
they're
otters.
bigger
Oh, but they look so sweet,
river
don't
otters.
they? They hold hands and
River otters.
everything, and then
yeah
they'll
they
gut you.
they skip down the road. They're going Timbaya.
Yeah,
They're
they look
sweet.
so cute with their little bodies when they're
Yeah.
like.
Did you just say Timbaya?
Yes, I did.
But, don't get too close to them.
I need to make shirts. Timbaya.
What?
no,
Instead
they
of
don't
saying
understand,
kumbaya, you said Timbaya.
Bob. They think they're cute little fuzzy animals. No, they're vicious killers.
They are. They're territorial.
They are. They are extremely aggressive. That they are the masters of the rivers around here. And the
And they're
rivers here
quick.
run really fast.
I tell you
And
what. One day we went out to Catalina Island. It's off the coast of LA here, an hour away, and we rented a tiny little boat, little gas-powered boat, and we were in the ocean playing with the boat, and we see a seal, and I'm like, "Holy cow, a seal!" It was like 20 feet away, so I'm like chugging the boat along, like blub, 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 trying to get closer. The thing goes, shoop, goes underwater, and like 3 seconds later, he's like 300 feet away. Boop, he pops his head out. I'm like, damn!
Yeah.
And then like I floor the boat. And then we're like, "Rawr," and I'm like trying to, keep it calm as we're getting closer. And the little otter goes, thump. 2 seconds later, 300 feet away in the other direction. I'm like, God dang, like there's no way I'm catching that. I wanted to get so close to take a picture, but those things are insane fast.
I don't.
yeah, that's how the rivers otters
Yeah.
are here.
They're
in the
quick.
Rivers.
There's people in
They're
canoes
unbelievable, man.
or
Oh, yeah.
whatever, and they're like rowing. They're in Alaska, and they're like out there
Mhm.
on the lake or whatever.
Oh my
And
God.
a seal comes up, and like the guy like he had a ton of fish because he was fishing in his canoe, and the seal that would scare the crap out of me because you know why? They're big predators out there after those
Yeah.
things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You see a seal, and before you know it, you got a freaking
Well,
orca,
That's
you
where
got
I
a
was.
great
That's
white
where I was.
shark coming up behind you.
That woman got
That's-
smashed by an orca. Wasn't it an orca that smashed those women on that one boat or something? It came right up, or was
No.
it a big
No, it was a whale.
whale?
It was a whale.
Big-
It was a blue whale.
Yeah, it was sperm whale. Or
But I'll
something.
tell you what, because you were talking about orca, I was just gonna say that there's a video of a guy paddleboarding, just nonchalant, in this little lake or ocean. I don't know. He's just paddling, doo, 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 doo. And underneath him is an orca rolling upside down, just kind of playing with him. Like orcas, apparently orcas are like the nicest
Very
whales,
intelligent. They're very
and
intelligent.
They're
they
very
know
intelligent
the
and
only.
they seem very nice, but with just one
But
swift
they're still a
move,
predator.
But
they're
but the
done for.
thing, yeah, but that's the thing. You have to trigger them to do that. Otherwise, they usually leave you alone. They tend to leave you alone. But if it hasn't eaten in a very, very long time, or it just got attacked, or is traumatized somehow, you have to have a trigger to attack a human. When do you ever hear an orca killed a human? You know,
One
it's
that
They had a movie
escaped from
about it.
SeaWorld.
it's
Yes,
very
I
rare.
watched that. What was that whale's name?
I don't remember.
Started with a T, and it like
Right.
killed like 5 people, and then they
And they
kept
still had
transferring
it.
it to SeaWorld to
Yep.
SeaWorld to SeaWorld, and
Mhm.
like
You think
yeah,
they get the point. You think
yeah.
they would get the point. Like I
Right.
went to
And
SeaWorld. I went to SeaWorld and I saw the attraction. I have pictures. Beautiful. I mean that is like my spirit animal. I love there's something about orcas that brings peace to my atmosphere. I
Your
you,
psyche.
love
you probably
Right.
like Free Willy.
oh absolutely. I love
I
orca
love those
whales.
And
movies. I just watched it not too
yeah,
long
but the
ago.
truth of it was that orca that killed 5 people, that was based on that movie. Finally, at the 5th one, after he killed the kid, he escaped from SeaWorld and made it to the Pacific, never to be seen again.
Good for
So
him.
they changed the ending. So, bye, Willie.
Yeah.
No, it's the truth is, I'll rip you in half and I'm out of here. And
Keiko.
dove into the ocean.
That whale died actually. The Free Willy whale, the one with the spots on his bottom, he actually
Right.
passed away. He passed away from pneumonia, I think.
Aw.
Yeah, he had a long, hard life. But I love orca whales, and there's a video I put on my Instagram actually, and it has this beautiful music, and it's this family on a boat, and there's an orca just swimming around them, you know, just doing like figure eights and going underneath the ship, and
I'll behave.
absolutely beautiful. You behave? Why? What's on your mind?
Hmm?
What's on your mind? You'll behave.
Oh, you missed the badamcha over there in the side chat with Darren. It's long gone. You missed
Yeah.
it when we were talking about Free Willy.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yes.
Close
And
enough.
I made my finger stop texting. I'm like, nope, doop doop. Gonna behave.
I just did the badutch.
Yeah.
It's probably 10 o'clock for me, so I gotta not shoot up. Inject myself with certain medications so I can sleep tonight.
Have fun.
Yeah, enjoy your medication. I mean,
Yeah,
sleep.
I will.
Right.
All right,
Love
Uncle
you,
Al.
Uncle Al.
Good night,
Wow.
Al.
Have a good night.
Just the 4 of us.
It's just
Yeah,
the
that's
four of
that's
us.
one thing I would love to knock off my bucket list is to be on a boat and have a killer whale orca just come right up to me and let me either pet it or feed it a fish.
Yeah, I've seen people do that.
Like
I
that's
don't think you're
something on my
supposed to
bucket
pet them
list.
though.
Yeah, fishes. You were asking, has
What?
anything come to the surface recently?
Oh. Yeah, I was just
in
wondering
the other chat.
from your other chat.
Oh, man.
That would be terrible.
Lagging.
Out whale
Lagging.
watching and up floats your ex.
There she is.
Yes, my
whale.
mistress is. Oh,
What's on the back of that?
yeah.
There
I'm
she
gonna.
is.
I'm gonna.
You got
Or-
you,
Since
there she
I had the New York accent when I was talking
uh-oh.
about that.
Oh, you're breaking up bad.
Oh
I'll
no.
go back into
We,
that.
we didn't hear you. You broke
And I'll
up
tell
pretty
you the
bad.
rest of the was lagging again. I know.
Did you say play nipple?
Do.
I don't know. You're
No, I
breaking
said
up,
do,
Bob.
do,
Really
do.
bad.
I heard lagging again.
I know.
Did you say nipple? Is
I
that
heard
well,
I
lagging
heard I
again,
heard
yeah.
play nipple. I heard
No. Let me just shut this phone up.
What kind of conversation
How
am I
about that?
his internet's all
My
off
first
and
one's
his words are getting
PG-18
like mixed up. So
tonight.
I heard play nipple. Like play it
Well,
back and you'll hear play nipple.
It wasn't me.
That might have
Yeah,
been
it
his
was.
love
No,
name.
it wasn't.
100%. You said play nipple.
No, I did not.
All right.
Yep,
The
I'm
big
ready for
No,
it, Bob.
no.
Oh my.
Oh, all right. I had like a Ted Bundy moment just this morning before we went out shooting. Hey, I miss her. She's my mistress. I miss her. So I got together with Sal. He and I were put on our waders. We went out there looking for my miss. We found her. Can you believe that? She's still at the.
We gaffed and pulled her in.
Nah, didn't get that lucky. Next time, maybe. I don't know. But I'm going along there. I said, hey, Sal, she's around here somewhere. I knows it. I feel it. It's love. It's love. So I had like a Ted Bundy moment. I'm going to go revisit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, stop.
There she is. I see the water's clear, and I'm up to here in water. And she's laying down at the bottom of the river, and she's in the current like this. I said, hey, Sal, look at that. She remembers me. She's saying hello. So I reached down to pick her up, and I was going to have a revisit, but it didn't get that lucky. I got swept away from the current again. There she goes. I got to go back again. Do you believe that? There it is. I got to go again.
So now where's she at?
Oh.
I don't know. She's still down there waving at the freaking stars or something,
She was down by the river.
Like a little tadpole or something. I don't know.
You're like
I thought I saw.
I gotta go back there again.
She's
It's love, I tell you.
down the river.
Oh my god.
It's love. It's all about the love. I miss her. Not every day do you give a doll a name.
Sleeping with the fishies, Doc P. Not me. Not this fishy.
I'm just enjoying the story. I'm picturing this in my head.
Don't do that.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh. That is so wrong.
Because
you think about it. I was thinking about this. I do occasionally. I come from the same place that Gary Ridgway. You've heard of him, the Green River Killer?
I haven't.
You heard of him?
My girl
and
that kind of stuff.
Man, what is this?
Well, we had the guy up with the college, U of F, the cleaner. They beheaded the young, college kids. And they couldn't figure out who was doing it. Till I forget how many kids were gone, and that was his calling card, was he would behead one of them.
Jeez.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was, I don't know if it was early or late 80s, or I think it was late 80s, early 90s.
70s for Bundy when they found him, when they caught him. Ridgway, he can't even remember.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah. I think he started in
somewhere. Once you really know somebody like that, there's no rehabilitation for that kind of person.
No.
Like,
no.
You know what's crazy?
And everything.
I watched a YouTube video, and it was an interview with like a serial killer, and the guy talked about all his work, all his killings, all his feelings, all his thoughts at the time and before and during and after. And it was so like, I was just so like, I was being drawn into it. I was just like, you know what I mean? Because the stories, it just, and you're just like,
evil. There's just that, another level of evil.
And you're just listening to this guy, and he has no
detached from even themselves doing it.
And that's the thing. He was talking. He had no remorse, and he was just talking like
right.
You and I went down to the market today and bought some cheese and went to the river and had a good time. This guy's talking the same way. He's like, yeah, I killed her, and slowly just took her teeth and popped one after another, and then and then like. I'm just saying random stuff, like
I know,
but he was talking about his killings of people like it was nothing.
They have no feelings.
Yeah,
they have no feelings.
And I was just like, wow, can you imagine meeting
this guy? It doesn't bother them.
The guy was so like, he seemed so cool. He's like such a respectful
Mhm.
talking guy. Like you see him, you're like, hey man, how are you doing? You know, he's like one of those like
They're highly, how
yeah,
do you say that? Maladaptive and manipulative too.
Manipulative, yeah.
yeah, you
Mhm.
see that and you're like, wow, this is a cool dude. You want to talk to him? You know, he seems like he's very nice but then you know because you're watching this and you know the stories he's telling you and it's like wow, like this cool
it's
guy
so
that's really
cool.
nice is killing people.
What is the difference with sociopathic and psychopathic though? Because Darren just said it's sociopathic.
Yeah.
I don't know the complete difference.
I don't know the difference either.
Serial killer. I just finished a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. No, you got to finish the box, Doc P, to be a true serial killer.
Yep.
That's just a start at there.
Oh, up. I think he's coming up.
Here it comes. I'm gonna get a lesson.
So let me answer you the differences.
Wait. I think Darren's gonna come up and fill us in why he said sociopath instead of when I said psychopath.
Can I say what I was?
No, wait till Darren's here. Talk about it with Darren because he wanted the link. Oh wait, now Doc P wants the link. What is this? Where is this going?
So
Oh,
dang it! I want to say it.
Hey, Raw 2029, you know about Project Bluebeam?
Are they coming on?
Since you
I don't know.
mentioned a little something.
He asked for the
came
link.
in
I assume
earlier.
that he is. He might be having issues because with Melon and everything.
He may be here, he may be not.
Do you want me to tell you the difference?
All right, go ahead, and then he can maybe explain it.
So it says psychopaths tend to be more manipulative and can be seen by others as more charming, lead a semblance of a normal life, and minimize risk in criminal activities.
Yeah.
While sociopaths tend to be more erratic, rage-prone, and unable to lead as much of a normal life.
Yeah.
Hi, Darren.
So that's
Hi.
I was good with that. That my definition. That was right.
Yeah.
This has Christy in the house.
So like psychopath could be sociopathic, like if they got their period.
True. Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Because it would be more, the up and down would be more obvious.
Sociopath means
can hide it.
If you take it to the root Latin of the word, a sociopath is socially disappropriate.
Socialize, yeah. That's what I was going to say earlier.
Whereas a psychopath is mentally disappropriate.
Yep.
So a sociopath doesn't associate with society. So
it's always that
society
recluse,
does.
Yeah.
That's the
they can mimic what
color.
society does.
Taking lampshades and stuff in their house and belts
but
and gloves.
They only mimic, they don't actually display emotion because they don't interact socially with other people.
Yeah.
Whereas a psychopath is mentally.
But they're able to manipulate people. Psychopaths are able to manipulate and seem like they're normal, and then you're hanging out with them, and then you're dead. That's Bundy was like that. People found Bundy very charming. The women found him extremely charming, and then he was killing them.
But a true sociopath serial killer tends to be able to mimic really well, and they'll give you the emotions that you want to read.
I couldn't hear that.
A true sociopath serial killer will show you the emotions that you want to read.
Yeah.
People say, I had a feel that they were a wonderful person, and that's because they're displaying the emotions that you wanted to read.
Yeah,
they weren't their emotions, but they displayed.
That's that way they can relate to you and make you feel.
To me, that's what manipulation
is. It is because that way they make you feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You feel comfortable with them. They got their way in now with you, and they have an easier.
So that's what Jeffrey Dahmer was doing. He was a sociopath because he would make you feel comfortable, take you back to his apartment,
have a good time, and never saw the next day.
Dinner.
Yeah.
And it meant nothing to him mentally. There was a total mental disconnect. Whereas a psychopath will have those rage emotions and that sort of thing. A sociopath doesn't. It's just a total disconnect from emotion.
Crazy, huh?
It is crazy.
And somehow killing is attached to that.
Not necessarily. There's
Not always,
just
yeah.
no negative
No, of course, that's true.
aspect of it.
That's true.
You can be
So
sociopathic
somebody
and
could
live a
go
normal
around
life.
and be a sociopath. Somebody could go around and be a sociopath. They don't necessarily have to be a killer.
Yeah.
And it's just disconnected from social.
True. Yeah.
That's all it is. And that's what a sociopath at the root means. So you're disconnected from that social aspect of life. You have
Antisocial.
no emotion. So at others' hurt and others' pain, you don't feel any emotion at that.
Well, that's
Interesting.
narcissists are like that too. There's like a disconnect. There's no empathy, but it's all about them. So they still need that social input, but they're not giving much output only to get input. And then there's no empathy. There's like
Yeah.
zero.
And that's a personality disorder as opposed to a sociopath.
Did you take psychology? Was that like an interest of yours?
I used to work in a psych ward.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. God
Look how he's smiling and looking up. Look at you didn't see that, but he was like this. He's like,
Viper, you should know.
No, I was the guard at a psych ward.
Wow.
You guys, okay, so here's a crazy story. And I've been to it. You guys know that song Hotel California, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys ever listen to the lyrics of the song?
Instead of just hearing a long time ago.
Instead of just hearing like "Welcome to the Hotel California," it's a good song, right? But if you listen to it, "Welcome to the Hotel California," such a lovely place. You know, in the middle of the night, the candle. I can't remember the lyrics really offhand, but basically the story is a mental institution.
Stabbed the knife with those, stabbed it with their steely knives.
Yeah.
So the injections.
They it's if you listen to it, it's actually a mental institution.
It also sounds like satanic ritualism too. That's
really and out here,
crap.
if you go to Channel Islands, it's called, well, not the actual islands, but it's called Cal State Channel Islands. It's a college now, but Cal State Channel Islands used to be the original Hotel California, the psych ward and all that stuff.
I met one of the Eagles and sat down with him. He was actually really nice.
Yeah. And so what we did when we found out the history of all this, we said, let's go to the Hotel California, which is the school now. And we looked for the bell tower from the Eagles album. Well, coincidentally, they had a bell tower, but it's not the same one. The bell tower on the album is the Beverly Hills Hotel in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
But they have a bell tower at that psych ward at Cal State Channel Islands. A lot of people don't realize that the lyrics is actually talking about, like, you know, like a psycho person in the middle of the night.
Well, that was when they were also followers of like Aleister Crowley's teachings, and a lot of them were. It was cool to be into Satanism.
Was it them that followed whatchamacallit? Sharon Tate.
That's Charlie Manson.
Didn't they follow him? Or they hung out with him or something?
I think so.
Charlie Manson was a pedophile.
He was a pedophile, but he was also
he manipulated
used by the government. Wasn't he part of that MK Ultra? Possibly.
I have no idea.
No, he grew up being incarcerated his entire life. He didn't mind going to prison. That was going back home. But he was a pedophile.
Sick.
Yeah, I went to Moundsville. He's from Moundsville, West Virginia, and I went to the Moundsville State Penitentiary where his mom actually was in prison there at the age of 15 for smashing somebody over the head with a bottle. So like he's like also a victim of
domestic violence.
Not just domestic violence, but like a history of people in his family that were not right, and he didn't grow up correctly, you know. And Yeah, he actually
Yeah.
wrote a letter to that penitentiary wanting to be there because his mom was there and they wouldn't transfer him.
Well, that's an odd one there.
Yeah,
Can you-
very creepy
I
guy.
don't think anyone's inherently born evil.
Yeah,
No,
And
I don't
it doesn't
either.
matter the situation. You make little choices along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's people who've been born in horrid situations, in exactly that sort of thing, you know, born in prisons and that sort of thing. And they've turned out as wonderful, saintly people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Look at those
heard
Menendez
that's-
brothers, I think it is.
Yeah. The
Mhm,
Mendes
yeah.
that were adopted.
yes, I just watched
What-
a thing about them.
Went and shot down their parents with shotguns because they wanted
Yeah.
the inheritance, you know, and they lived with a silver spoon in their mouth their whole lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're pleading that saying that it wasn't, they didn't want the inheritance. They were, like, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. I guess I can. Their dad was touching them,
Abusing them.
abusing them. There we go.
Abuse
That's
or-
the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Their dad was abusing
They
them
were
like
alleging
almost all of their
abuse.
lives. So that was their excuse as to why they killed their parents.
Well,
But
I'll give you something real
who
quick
really
here.
knows, you know? Like
I came from my mother and father. It's a lot of it is genetics. I came from my mother and father. I have values. I'm a decent man. My brother and sister, who I disowned after mom died, they were adopted. We were all three raised in the same environment.
Mhm.
No abuse, no sexual assault. The other two, brother has been incarcerated the last time I looked around 14 times for theft,
Yeah.
child abuse, his wife abuse. My sister has been married 5 times, but she hasn't been arrested yet. But she's a total manipulator and a
Mhm.
despicable human being.
Were
You
they
know,
drug,
and that's
and
why
alcohol exposed,
well,
Bob?
it is genetics. It has
Yeah.
a lot to do with it. It's genetics.
Some of it is absolutely genetic when it comes to that, because there's
Yeah.
drug and
You're-
alcohol abuse kids that
You're
are
you're
put into.
you're mentally it's
that.
mentally like fused in your DNA.
Oh,
Well,
nature and
and
nurture both
also
part of
like
play.
abused.
Yeah.
Your DNA is abused by these drugs. Like the stuff that I heard about when I was in the foster care system is generational. Some of it is you're getting somebody's child who they themselves were a foster child and they aged out and just
Oh,
then had children and they knew no other way. They just didn't. They didn't have anybody showing them the way with life, or mentally they couldn't function.
yeah.
We think like
I can see that.
there was a learning disability
I
with
can see
even
that.
his mom. So, you know, I remember holding my son for the first time, and he was almost 12 weeks old. I held him, and I had like the most horrific vision. I saw 3 little girls, and I could tell in the vision. I don't know if I've ever said this to you, Courtney. They were being abused by an uncle, like the kind of abuse that you just talked about. And I just saw it for a second. I knew exactly what I was seeing, but it was all in shadows. And I remember saying it to the lady who would come to the house. Like, I don't want to drop any names or what her position was. I was like, listen, I've never had this happen except for like with this child. I had all kinds of weird like dreams and things before we got him. And now I've had a vision. I've never done that. I said, there was 3 girls, an uncle, and he abused them. What does that have anything to do with this baby's case at all? When we adopted him, I was going through, like, I asked for as many papers as I could get on him, because once they close the file, you can't get any more papers on that child. You can't get, like, you have to ask for them specifically as you're going to adopt. And slid in that file was his mom actually had 2 other sisters. They did actually go to an uncle and an aunt for foster care until it was found out that the uncle was molesting all 3 of them. And then they were placed back into foster care. The 2 sisters both ended up dying of, like, I think one was drug overdose, the other was AIDS. And, you know, mom, my son's mother was the only one who made it out, and she was completely messed up too. No wonder, like she wasn't mentally, there's some delays there. So imagine being a delayed child anyway and trying to process that out. Even people who aren't delayed can't process that, you know, and then having I don't know what happened with her own mother other than she was a drug user. So it's generational, like in the system,
Yeah.
it's generational. And then you've got that in their genes. So yeah, I can't tell you how much I pray over this child that we have. And when he says, like, just recently, he's finally starting to string sentences together. I'm so grateful, but his autism is really more from possibly alcohol than it is autism. And so, yeah, those kids
Oh, yeah,
dealing with,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
such a difficult situation to start their life with, and they're coming into a household, and we're doing the best we can to give them the most nurturing upbringing. But it's a lot of pegs to lift up that have been knocked down before you know, get them. So, yeah, I don't necessarily believe in inherently evil, but I do at the same point.
In the 60s, in my area of the States, we were a backwater. It's now, you know, prosperous area, but in the 60s, my brother was 2 years older than me. He's adopted.
Yeah.
He's not my blood, and he's not my mom and dad's blood.
Yeah.
Okay. I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and Dad would change the channel on the TV. And it didn't make too much difference what it was. Change the channel. If he didn't get his way, he would throw himself on the ground and scream and go into this spastic, pounding, screaming fits. And you know, my dad's sitting right there next to me, and he goes, and he never treated us different from each other. He was a good, decent man. Never. And he just turned to me and he goes, you know something? That kid's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. He knew when my brother was 5.
I don't speak that over my son. I will never speak that over my son. You can't speak that over children.
My brother couldn't hear him.
It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they didn't know that back then. Like our parents' generation didn't know that, but you cannot speak that over children. You cannot say, "Oh, you act like that, then you're going to end up in jail." If you act like that, you're going to end up, and you speak this negative stuff over them, then they believe it, and then they think that's all they're going to achieve. I'm going to be that anyway. So what the heck?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you hear them.
He couldn't hear what my dad said.
No,
he couldn't hear him.
It's not a matter of hearing. It's the way that you project what you believe inside.
Yeah.
If you're believing inside that child is going to be...
You have to understand the circumstances.
Yeah. He was damaged. I'm not saying he was
It's not speaking negative about your father.
Nothing.
It's not that.
Okay.
It's a change of the way of thought since those days.
Yes.
I mean, all of us were parented in those days. I mean, you know, tough love was tough love. And those sorts of terms, you know, that kid's got no good in it, got no work in him, got no go in him. You know, that's going to mean that kid's got no work in him. Yeah. Because that's all you hear, unless he gets that determination there to go, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. Yep. That's how my mom was raised.
Not every kid has that, though. Some kids.
Not every kid has that.
Yeah.
Some need it built into them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never, when my kids were growing up, never did I say you can't do. Have a go.
Yeah. Try it out.
Give it a go.
Yeah, you never know.
Yep.
Yeah. Fall out of a tree. That was silly.
Yeah, and in the 60s in this area,
This
there was no
this is coming from the
mental health care.
Facts.
There was nothing.
I think that was like just in
here,
general in the 60s.
There were no
I don't think there was anything like that for anybody in the 60s.
No. Even when I was young, ADHD was give them a little bit more discipline.
Yeah.
Okay.
60s mental health care was
my brain's
if they're really bad, lock them up forever.
Yeah.
That's exactly the way it worked. It was institutionalization.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they can't behave like a normal person, lock them up.
Yeah.
So and things have changed. And look, I have worked in mental health, and I've seen people that they actually do need those institutions
Yeah,
because
there are
they
some.
cannot
Yeah.
adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the government here has moved out of that institutionalization, and they have no long-term institutions anymore.
Daryl, real quick, off subject completely, way off
Yeah.
subject.
Yes,
Did you guys get inundated by those birds? I saw something in Australia, like you guys got like this huge, crazy, like
Which
like
birds? They have
storm of. No, it
great
was like
birds.
it was insane. It was like a lot of white birds, like I mean millions of them. It
White.
was like some
glass.
infestation of birds. You don't know
Are you
anything
talking
about
about
that?
the ones that eat their grass and they'll like tear up their yards?
Oh, I don't
think
know.
we
It
were
was
over
just
there.
I saw it on Facebook. They said Australia. There's
Cockatoos.
a part of Australia that got like inundated by this.
Cockatoos, maybe.
Oh, I
They
don't
look
know.
like cockatoos, but I don't think I think I saw something like that. And it was like they were all over some guy's yard and they'll rip his yard to shreds.
No, this was like
It happens all the time.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I thought.
Okay. No, okay. Never mind. Back to the subject.
Here's trouble.
What? Oh my lord.
I mean, I was gonna ask him and I forgot earlier, and it just came because he said
Bob, can I
government.
have a cigarette, Bob?
Yeah, we're all smoking by the end of Courtney's stream
He said
tonight.
government, so I was like, it rang a bell.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even get, I would have liked to something. I didn't get any drugs when I was for ADHD when I was younger. I just
I got-
always knew that my brain, I was different. I
I
couldn't
had
figure it out.
Prozac.
It drove me crazy.
You know what's crazy? Hey, you want to hear a crazy story about that and my pacemaker?
Yeah, sure.
So when my mom and my dad were together, I was 13 by that time. And 13-year-olds, they're crazy.
Right.
Everybody, they think they know everything. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 13-year-old boys
And-
too. Whoa.
Yeah, no, but you get me. And
Yes.
so my mom was like, "You need to see a therapist. You need to get some medication." Oh, no. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You don't know nothing. You're still young. Blah blah blah. You need to see a therapist. And da, da, da. Anyway, we went to see a therapist. Therapist recommended Prozac and all that stuff. You know
Oh
how
my
that goes.
gosh.
Yeah, the pharmaceutical
before-
stuff. Yeah.
Before they could prescribe me that, they needed to run an EKG, to run blood tests and heart rate monitors and all that stuff to see what kind of dosage I can get. That's when we found out I had a heart problem, and that's when we found out that my heart rate dipped down to 20 beats a minute. That's when we found out with the EKG. That's when my pacemaker came in 1999.
Wow.
Yeah, I got it way after, and yeah, all
And that's
thanks
when
to
they said you couldn't have that medication probably after that too. Like,
yeah. So all
Wow.
that kind of tied together.
Amazing.
Crazy.
How they found it then. That's like those people where you hear they like fall and they break something and then they find out, well, it's more severe with them, but they find out that they have cancer and they didn't even know it.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah. Like I think one girl was doing a cartwheel and she like something snapped. I don't know if it was her femur or her other bone beneath her knee. And they were like, oh, while we're in here, did you know?
By the
Of course.
way,
No. My gosh. I'm so glad
City
you're
girl, country heart. Yeah, it's crazy how all that kind of just worked out, and it's
Tammy,
like I said,
I can see you.
Can you hear me?
no.
Of
I
course.
can.
Smart ass.
Don't listen to him.
Don't
No,
No, I'm not
try
sorry.
to name
I
this
mean,
starts with a V.
But
innocent until found guilty. Go ahead,
I
Viper.
wouldn't stir Terry
Oh,
up
hold
at
on,
all.
Doc P. Riley, happy birthday. You're 21 today. Woo!
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
My youngest and pride and joy.
Got a
what
guy
the hell
on
is
Bud
it?
Team.
Riley. Wow. 21.
I remember when I was 21. My dad was very
Mhm.
emotional that day for my 21st birthday, because when he turned 21, his mom passed away. He found his
Oh,
mom. He found his mom.
he
Yeah,
was
so
grateful
21
to be there.
21 was a hard one for him, for me to turn 21.
Yeah, so 21. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, my mom's dad passed when she was only 4 years old. He
Wow.
was like that. The ones that they talk about, don't get on the road tired because you could always fall asleep and crash your car. Well, he did.
My
Oh, wow.
mom's nephews, their dad fell asleep at the wheel and rear-ended a semi.
Oh my god.
I mean, and he had a 2000s year model Pathfinder, Nissan Pathfinder, and the whole front end was it looked like a van. It was just flat. He hit that at like 50 miles an hour. He fell asleep. Look at this.
Did he survive?
Oh yeah, he came out all right. He had bruises all over his face, and
Yeah.
he died of cancer, actually. But yeah, he had bruises all over his face, and
My grandfather hit the side of, if you ever go up to Pennsylvania, they have these they're like short tunnels to go under maybe a small landmass, and it's
Mhm.
done in
Yeah.
all stone. Like you go under it and it's all stone. He hit like the side of one of those, I believe.
Jesus,
Yeah.
like Princess Diana.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he wasn't in the tunnel. It was like right before you go
Yeah,
into
right
it.
before it. Yeah.
And it was a
Yeah.
shorter one. It wasn't like that. That's like the Maryland tunnel, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
that she got killed in. I don't know.
She
if that-
survived that too.
Yeah, I
For a
don't want to
little
say how
while.
long ago I was 21.
I remember where I was when she passed.
Is that what you said, Darren? I don't remember where I was at 21.
I don't want to say how long ago it was when I was
How long
21.
ago it was.
It was a while.
I hear you. Yeah, I do remember my 21st birthday. I was on the way home from school, fighting dinosaurs and throwing rocks at them and trying to escape. You know, those damn T-Rex, they suck. They're fast. They're fast.
You guys living in Jumanji.
The
I
Velociraptor.
swear.
Hard
Yeah.
to run after.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
according to
my
my
Lord.
kids, I used to ride dinosaurs to school, but hey.
Yeah.
Pretty
So I remember, this to me is a miracle. You know.
Now we're becoming the dinosaurs.
No,
Speak for
no, I'm
yourself.
not. No, I'm not.
Oh yeah, you
No.
are. Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Don't worry, we're all getting there.
Just don't ask me how old I feel.
Your body says otherwise. I've been slowly seeing my body. Every morning I wake up now and I stretch. Crack, 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 pop. Okay, I'm good now.
Wait till you stand up and every joint you hear pops.
Oh yeah.
You
Or
take a
wait
step.
till you get up and you have to shuffle somewhere. That's really fun.
When you got to wake up in the middle of the night twice to go pee.
Oh, now you're bringing up the fun stuff, Vibe.
Wait till a car hits you in the driver's door and see how your body feels then.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
You got to do your prostate exercises, Viper.
It's frozen like that.
That hurts. No, you're not
Oh, hey.
supposed to. No.
Hey, hang on.
Women
Wait,
have
wait,
to
wait,
do
wait,
it.
wait.
You are Kegel.
Stay out of there. No.
How
did it ever get to this?
Because Viper
Now,
talked about peeing. in
My
the middle
doctor
of the
gave
night.
me an appointment to
Hey,
get
I
a
tell
blood
you
test
what.
today because I ain't doing the other test.
Please turn your head to the side and
Yeah, no.
cough.
Hey, you want to hear horror? I started pissing blood one day.
Oh my
I started urinating blood one day. So come to find out, they got to put a camera up with a wheelie. They got to put a camera up
Oh.
wheelie,
Yep.
right? Guys, you can relate. It was this big around. This is the fireplace lighter. It was semi-rigid. Now, I told my wife, if you hear me screaming my name, rank, and serial number, because I was in the military, that's when it's insane. And I mean, they had smelling salts right next to the tables to wake you up. if you
Why
pass out.
the hell would they have you awake?
They didn't
Yeah,
need to like sedate you or anything. They just shove
Yeah.
it up in there.
No way.
Yeah.
You can't not cover that
Yeah.
thing up. No,
The word- a catheter, and then they had to go back up there and make sure it was gone. And I said, you know what, Doc? Yeah, that's a great procedure, but you're going to put me unconscious. I ain't doing that twice in one lifetime. Yeah, no.
I wouldn't do it once awake. Lord.
Yeah, no.
That's why I say prostate. A man doesn't realize he has a prostate until
Yeah, no.
something passes through the prostate. Something this big goes through the
Oh.
prostate. You know exactly where it's at. Like, ah,
How did you
Senior
not
Airman, United States Air Force.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. That's
Right.
awful.
Yeah, and then when you go
I
to
would have been
pee,
like, I'm good with the blood. If I was a guy, I'm okay with blood.
all right.
Yeah,
Just
that's
imagine how.
fine. It's not falling off.
I'm okay.
It's good.
No problem. No.
Problem.
Yeah, and then afterwards, just imagine how you feel afterwards when you got to go pee. Like,
Oh,
it's like just turning on a sink. Just like there's no.
yeah,
Mhm.
no.
It's like a
thank you.
rebore on an engine.
Yeah.
I had a catheter when I was pregnant because I had a C-section and
Yeah.
Too.
took it out and everything. But after that, I was afraid to pee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're always like, oh my God, because you're afraid, you know? Like,
Yeah.
is it going to hurt? Like, you don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, that was the worst. That was the worst injury or surgery I've ever had. It was the worst because I had to have a catheter up inside a little willy for a couple of weeks.
You know,
Mm.
I can
Urinate blood, and your-
relate.
Was it a big?
a man's bladder? A man's bladder is like this. A man's bladder is like this. It's smooth muscle, and
Yeah.
it's like the uterus, and it's right in the center. It's this big. It's right in the center of a man's body. And anytime I urinated or felt like it, I'd go into these spasms. I collapse on the floor.
I bet.
No
Mm.
doubt, no
No, thank
question.
you.
That lasted for weeks.
Wow.
But what was it? Was it a kidney stone that was in your bladder? A bladder
Weeks.
stone?
No, I can't do it again. I can't do it again. You know?
Oh,
I told I told my wife if it comes back, just give me a fistful of $100 bills and send me to Bangkok. I will die of exhaustion and dehydration. You know?
Okay.
You know, part of the pacemaker.
Thank you, Darren, for not hitting on that one.
Part of
No,
the
I'm not going to hit on Bob. I got standards.
Like
part
I
of
can
the
say, the only time I've had a catheter and I was awake was when I was having my son. Because when I went to the hospital to have him, they couldn't find his heartbeat. So they had 3 monitors on me just to keep an eye on him. And they had me lay on my back flat, and I had to turn my hip so I was on my left hip after they put the IV in my back so they could numb me. And in order to get, after I delivered him, they had to use a catheter on me because I couldn't walk.
part of my pacemaker surgery, how they do it is they what do they do? I know they put an IV. Yeah, they put an EKG, so they put all the wires everywhere. They give you an IV and they give you anesthesia, and you know, obviously you go under and you don't know what happens from there. They cut, I mean, I'm assuming they cut you open, they pull it out. It's like changing a car battery essentially. I have two wires going to my heart, and then you know the device itself. But anyway, what they do is, in case like my heart is okay to where it can beat on its own without the device for like such, it needs help. It needs permanent help. But if the device were to die, my heart can somewhat function on its own, like limp mode, you know what I mean? And so what they do is, in case patients that don't have that option, where if they disconnect the device and their heart just shuts down, they stick what I'm assuming is a catheter up the penis, and somehow I don't know if I'm saying this wrong, but it goes somehow. No, it's not funny.
Sure
Somehow,
femoral artery.
no. I'm hoping I'm saying this correctly because I don't want to give misinformation. But apparently, they go up your penis and it connects somehow to your heart. And in
Femoral
case
artery,
your battery, in case your device,
different type of catheter. He's talking about a different
Yeah.
type of catheter.
yeah.
What they do is they
in
go
case-
because they had to go up the vein in your leg, not your
Yeah.
penis.
Yeah.
It's your leg,
It's the
not your
femoral
penis.
artery that they go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then
The
I see.
femoral on the inside of the
Well,
leg.
it hurt me so
Oh,
bad. I started spewing pea soup. And
Wait,
I wake up and I'm come to, and there's Father Marin throwing holy water on me. Release this child of God. There was an
I'm
exorcist.
assuming
They
that was a
thought about
reference
freaking possessed.
to-
Exercise demons.
The Exorcist, that original movie, The
Yeah, well,
Exorcist.
we missed most of it because you started freezing up again, mate, and it
Yep.
sounded really,
Oh,
really,
Yeah,
really
it's
weird.
you're just
Yeah.
Mr.
You-
Roboto.
You were in the Matrix.
Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Nemo. Rescue Nemo.
My mom used to tease my
Hey, you want to
my
hear something funny about
ex-brother-in-law.
Nemo? P42 Sherman Wallaby Way, whatever that address is. I don't know what the exact number is, but that address in Finding Nemo is actually a dentist in Australia. Just like
Part
in the
of
movie.
Matrix.
Just like in the movie, yeah.
It's crazy.
Hmm.
That's so crazy.
If
Anyway.
it wasn't a dentist before, wouldn't you put your dental surgery there?
True, right?
Hmm
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have
Good
that in a
business
movie,
move.
of course.
You've got free advertising for life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But if your number wasn't 8675309, would you change your number?
Jenny. That's Jenny. That's Jenny. I call Jenny all the
For
time.
God's sake, no.
Yeah,
it's
she
not.
did.
Yeah.
She call blocked me, man. It was embarrassing.
Star 67.
Yeah, the people who actually had that number when the song was released,
They probably had to
Can
retire
you
it.
imagine?
they did. They had to retire that number.
I remember when the
I
movie.
wonder if there's a story behind that. Like, was this like an ex-girlfriend that was a real bee or something that they?
I remember
There's gotta be.
when the movie The Ring came out. If you were to
Ring
ever watch that
Stalker?
movie, and
Oh.
then your phone
Yeah.
rang at night when you were watching that. The Ring.
Didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that
it.
one.
Was that the one where the kid came up the like hole, the well?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing. That was
Well,
just.
that's called that's called childbirth. That's called childbirth.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I only
goodness.
had one child from my uterus, so I'm, a little confused as to how that happened. They just took her directly out, so.
Get out of here.
Hello, Viper.
Hello.
It's the ring.
Mr. Big Blue.
I'm blue. Don't flash that thing.
Are you scared of the ring?
Hey guys, I'll be back. I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm going to restart my computer, see if I can get a better connection.
Okay.
Alright.
Back in a moment, guys.
Okay.
So you're going to
Sound-
We'll
poop.
miss you for the
Okay,
whole 10
say it.
minutes.
No.
I'm blue. I'm in need of a poop.
So
Darren went to go take a deuce.
Hmm
That's why he's got a big D up there. D for deuce.
Now the big
Bob's
question is:
got-
Are you going to
Bob's
let
gonna
Bob
have a
back in or
bobber.
not?
Are you gonna let Bob back in or not? Did you hear Darren? Did you hear Darren, Courtney?
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, so she's gonna let Bob back in.
Oh my gosh. I need my
Viper,
water.
did your neighbors move all the way in yet?
So those new people came yesterday briefly and then they left. Apparently they're gonna move in tomorrow, Saturday. They're gonna
Oh, so it's like a pre-move-in, maybe cleaning kind of thing.
Yeah.
well, I think they were dropping off a few of their stuff, like little knickknacks, and then the big move comes. I already saw there's 2 cars downstairs, so I'm like, great, they have 3 cars. Because I saw their pickup truck and
That's
now I saw
weird.
2 cars, so I don't know if it's I don't know, whatever. It's not my problem because I don't park next to them, but yeah.
That's a lot of pay, Doc.
I just don't like neighbors.
That's weird. Why don't you see? Do you see Darren's black rectangle, Doc P?
There's
I
a
do.
black starer up there. There's
For me, Darren's blacked out with his letter.
Yeah. Doc P
Yeah.
saying that he only sees you, me.
Darren's
and
pooping. We
me.
all know this.
So then,
Uh-huh.
where's Terry?
Darren poops a
then?
lot.
I'm
And-
here. I didn't
See?
run away yet.
I know. I see you. Doc P doesn't.
I can see
He's
you.
saying.
Doc
I can
P,
see you on YouTube too.
Might have to
I
refresh.
I know, so can I. See?
I'm
I
blue.
can see all y'all.
I can see y'all.
I can see clearly
Yeah,
now
on
the
my
rain is
phone
gone.
too. Doc P, you might have to refresh.
Oh, no, I ain't gonna
I can
report
see all
that.
obstacles that are in my way.
There.
I was just gonna say that.
What is that song?
I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Oh my gosh. I
I
don't
can
know how
see
this
all
wine keeps
else
getting dirty.
going my way.
Hold on, let me get my
Gone are the
water while
dark
everybody's
clouds that
taking a
have
poop.
me blind.
Oh,
Gonna
there we
be a
go.
bright,
Bright,
sunshiny day.
Viper can't hold the time.
Aliens are blocking the internet from Australia.
I have another 20 pounds.
Hey,
of
Narrowway Farm. Yeah, we up
ripening-
late.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
And I think it's one of the foods I can't eat because it spikes my sugar.
What is it?
Are you diabetic?
Bananas.
Yeah, bananas are horrible if you have a sugar problem.
Fishes,
I
are
think
you diabetic?
because of
But
the
they're
fibro.
wonderful for potassium.
Yeah, they're full of potassium, but celery's better if you are sensitive to sugar and like
Fishes,
with fibro.
fishes and loaves.
Yeah.
Are you diabetic?
Fibro people tend to be hypoglycemic.
Okay,
So I'm sugar sensitive, but not like diabetic.
gotcha. Okay. You know, the friend of mine that I went to see today, he had COVID, and I keep saying the word. It's just force of habit. But because of that, he became diabetic.
Wow.
Yeah, and unless you
Yeah.
have news as your YouTube channel, if it's a news thing, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, because a lot of news agencies were getting tagged big time.
I remember
Yeah,
when that
news
trouble.
agencies,
Would be
news
nice if
agencies
the
can
news
put it up.
agencies
The
were
rest of us
actually news
can't.
agencies.
I'm sorry, what can't you say?
COVID.
The word.
Oh,
YouTube
don't say
don't
that.
want.
They're not
No.
worrying
Red
about it so
Dragon
much now, but
usually.
it was getting
And
When it
in the
came out-
beginning, yeah,
when it came
no
out,
one was
because
allowed to say it.
when it came out, they couldn't say it because, of course, little sensitive little babies they are, they didn't want people profiting on a trending topic. So if you wrote that word, hashtag COVID-19,
Mhm.
your channel would be pinged and you would get so much traffic and millions of views because it's such a huge, like, oh my
Mhm.
God, deal. And so they said, yeah, you can't say that, you can't tag it. If you do that, we will put like a disclaimer or something, fact check this nonsense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
but now
they-
it comes up in your feed.
yeah, they did
Yeah.
that because they didn't want you profiting off of it.
Yeah.
Now they don't care. Now they don't care, and they'll just write a disclaimer, like fact check this or google.com that, whatever, but they don't care about it anymore.
Just don't do it.
It's just
Yeah,
stupid.
don't do it. We need to get Courtney not taken off, but
No, no, it's saying I don't think saying it won't be a problem.
Mm.
It's just actually like labeling your chat like the true
Mhm.
story, the true, miss of
Yeah.
so and so.
Yeah.
If you wrote a title like that and hashtag that stuff, then
Yep.
yes. But I don't think talking about it don't matter.
No, I mean I've been in so many chats where people have spoken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's talking is nothing, but trying to profitize off of it is different.
Yeah.
What's sad too
And
is
it's so
though
stupid.
everything else has disappeared. Like these people, I worry about going in, and that specific test is so sensitive, and they tag me for that when I have something else, and they treat me for
You know when my friend
Red
passed away?
Dragon, and they overlook the other problem. Like your friend might have had a kidney issue that they kind of overlooked and just thought it was that, and now that's why they're actually dealing with diabetes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my daughter has a friend that she's dealing with almost disability after having it, but we had a friend of ours when she was younger. He caught what was it called? It's not Bell's palsy. Is it? It's called something else, but it's like that, where it can come from just like a sinus infection, and it turns into where you can't move. Oh, Guillain-Barré. It's Guillain-Barré, and he couldn't move. It started off as just a regular like sinus infection, but something crossed the blood-brain barrier and it turned into this Guillain-Barré.
Wow.
And he needed PT afterwards. Well, some people are like, oh, my friend had the Red Dragon and they now need PT. And well, was it really that? Or did they get this other thing that they didn't test them for
Yeah.
because they blamed it on that? Like, that's where I get nervous about
Yeah.
going into the hospital
My-
for anything that they'll overlook something.
My friend, when my friend passed away last year, like my other friend and I were like, yo, if they dare even say and write him as a statistic, because they came out and said, oh, if you died from a car accident but you were positive, you're a case and you will be marked as that death, not a car
Yeah.
accident death.
Yeah.
You're as, you know.
Yep.
And so when my friend passed, I'm like, yo, I swear to God, they better not even think about writing him off as a statistic death of that. You know,
But
we
the
know he didn't
statistic
have.
they were
We know he didn't
publicizing was died with,
with.
Yeah.
But they
not
were
died
capitalizing.
of.
Exactly, and
Yeah,
that's where
states
they
were
were
making money
capitalizing.
off of that.
They were doing it on purpose to say, oh, 1 million people died of that. No, they did not. They died because they had that. So
Yeah.
when he died, I was like, yo, they better not say that, because I'm not gonna stay quiet on this. And no, he didn't have it, and he didn't die from it, and
Thank God.
they didn't write anything of that. His was legitimately cancer, so that made me feel somewhat better. But
One of my friends, longtime friends,
all that was for insurance companies. If you had it and you died of a
Yep.
car accident and they wrote you off
Yeah.
as a statistic death, it's that way the insurance company could hit 40 grand off of you.
yeah.
That's all it
Treating
was
COVID
for.
patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
One of
stupid.
my
Agreed.
best friends from my childhood, her dad committed suicide, and they tried to say he had COVID. The man had PTSD, like severely bad.
How
He
you
never
gonna kill yourself because you have that? Come on.
he never left the property the last 10 years of his life. He was always out on the farm.
Oh,
They had
sorry,
a
Bob.
100-acre farm.
Slow.
100-acre
She
farm.
didn't let she didn't let him in.
See?
Darren called it.
Can I come in, please? It's cold out here.
But yeah,
I found my girlfriend out here.
they had a 100-acre
Why
property
am I
up in
sleeping with the
Montana.
fishes over here?
They patched her hole. She's floating
I
again.
got some duct tape. I'm
He's,
gonna
he's
bring
out
her
there
up.
playing with his bells all alone.
I can't believe she didn't do that. That is so funny.
But yeah, we have to be careful. I don't want to get Courtney in trouble. But yeah, that's the CDC did come out with a report, but nobody's reporting on it. That it
Well,
was that, like that they were doing that.
because, well, I'm not gonna go there, but
I know.
certain people are in a certain party of a certain office.
It's not even just a certain party. It's global.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Global initiative.
Agenda.
About control. Think of yourself as if you created all these little human beings and you could put them in, say, an aquarium and look down on them. That's how we're
Think
thought
if you
of.
could never leave your country.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like Darren.
Pretty much.
We're at that
Yeah.
point right now. We're at that point right now.
I've been at that point for
Yeah, he's been
Over a year.
My friend,
since
my
it came
friend,
out.
my friend and I, when we were
Darren
having his
was
live
awesome.
streams the past like 6 months ago during this, like in the middle of it, we were talking about stuff called the Great Reset, the Green
Yep.
New Deal,
You can't
stuff like that. You know,
say those, I don't think, on here, can you?
I mean, we've talked about it, but
The
they're
GR
avoidable.
one, though, I don't know if that'll get her in trouble.
oh no, I don't know. But
You get me in trouble,
No,
Viper.
I'm back
No.
like
I'm
Tell
gonna
me
beat
the
you.
guy
I'm
with
gonna
the K
I'll fly
last
to
name and that.
California,
Yeah,
I'll
and then
fly
I'll
to
like
Texas.
Get him.
you'll
Get him,
be
Courtney.
sleeping with the fishes too.
Tell him, Courtney.
Kill
Try to
him,
put on more
Courtney.
makeup and we'll take care of him.
Yeah, I'll fly over all the way to California with my mask on.
I'll get my girls from Jersey and I'll be right there.
Oh,
Hey, Courtney,
wait.
where's
I like makeup. I'm a, you know.
Courtney?
You got a
Where?
camcorder?
I'll make Buffalo Bob here put the lotion on your skin.
Courtney, I'm gonna ask you several questions. Where is
We'll
Akron,
be
Ohio?
electrocuted you.
Where is it?
Yeah,
It's an hour south of Cleveland.
How far is it from you?
Why?
Just answer the question. How far is Akron from you?
It depends. Could be 45. It could be 35 minutes.
Okay, so we got an idea. Where is Mogador, Ohio?
None of your business.
Be careful you don't let some
Yeah,
stuff.
No, I'm not letting it.
Yeah.
I'm not letting anything out.
Don't endanger our girl.
No, she's fine.
Nothing like getting on somebody's live and doxing them.
Yeah.
Courtney,
Yeah,
where
that's-
where
yeah.
is
At an
one,
average
two,
speed of
three?
travel at 55 miles an hour from this
I
location.
know.
Keep it up, Viper.
If I
Soon
told
enough,
you
I'll have
now.
your address.
Where is 1, 2, 3 south?
We sing Lane.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know, I got one of those teller, I don't even know what to call them, prank. It's not even a prank, but those people, you know, they try to scam you and they're like, Social Security is gonna come after you, the FBI.
Oh, I
Marketer.
do that every
Yeah.
day.
And so anyway, I was on a phone call with one guy and I was like, you know what, let me mess with him. So I went on and on with him and he's like, what's your address? I'm like, oh, you need my address? And he's like, yes, we need your address in order to just clarify our documents or whatever, right? And which is funny because they say we have all your information, and I'm like, well, if you have all my information, you should know. You don't need me to tell you. So anyway, they want me to say it
Yeah.
just to clarify. So I'm like, okay, I'll clarify it with you. Google.com, White House address, and then I tell them the White House. I got the address to White House, 123, whatever it is, Pennsylvania Avenue. So we're going along with
Pennsylvania Avenue.
it. Yeah, it was great.
If you are not in compliance, I'm going to call the sheriff and have you arrested.
Uh-huh. Those people
They'll
deserve.
just get beat with one of those big cane poles over there. I've seen that.
Mhm.
The police even carry them. I'm like, what the heck?
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
ever
People in
ever
it,
see like
and you see the cops come with these big sticks. So I'm like,
Yeah. Mhm.
whoosh,
crazy.
whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
closet,
I
your
mean,
closet
ours
looks like a
have
fridge.
sticks
don't
too,
break
but
the
they're
law
only
in
like,
Southeast Asia.
Doesn't his closet look like a fridge?
Who?
There.
Darren's closet
Doesn't
looks
what?
like a fridge.
Doesn't it look like one of those silver like
It's
Sub-Zero
brown.
fridge?
The armoire? Is
It
he
looks
talking about
silver on the camera.
It's brown.
Who
what
dropped?
happened?
Oh,
We lost Terry.
Terry dropped.
she's messing with her phone. I saw her.
He's talking about your, cannon cabinet back there.
My cannon
People with
cabinet.
cannons.
Yeah.
They
I
let
don't
you
Cannon
have
have
any
those in
cannons.
Australia, of course.
We're not even allowed to black powder. Come on.
It's just a bazooka too. No problem.
Actually, you need a dangerous weapons license to own a bow.
Wow. How do you, because you're a knife maker, is that like, do you just, that's okay because you make them?
Is that like, do you just,
What the heck?
that's
Whoa.
okay? 'cause you
Terry,
make
Hello.
her, is that like,
The heck? Who was that?
I'm going to stop talking if I sound like that. Oh my God.
Was that you?
Jeez.
You don't ever watch your own videos when you edit them?
Never hear your voice.
I do. I hear my own voice. It's annoying. I hate my own voice. But I don't want to change it and be fake either.
Hi,
Okay.
everybody. Yeah.
Hold on now, Terry.
Yeah, or do that
What
voice.
am I, your secretary or something?
Yeah, we could
What's
do
the matter
that.
with you?
See, I
What's the
can't
matter
do
with
that
you?
Boston accent.
Boston.
Boston.
You could do
Let
South
me go get my
African,
car
probably.
It's like,
Car.
oh
with a
yeah, quarter
K-A-R.
water costs you a quarter.
They
Oh,
spell
God.
car.
I've been to
K-A-H.
Boston.
They spell car K-A-H.
Yeah.
Let me go get my car keys.
Mhm.
City girl, country hard joined. I hear it.
There she is.
Stop playing with your phone.
What are you hearing?
Oh
Whoa.
God! Don't eat the
Oh,
microphone either.
Dang.
It's the Soviets again.
My teeth! My teeth!
No, I plugged in my laptop so I could plug it in and sit here, and I didn't plug the wire into my laptop so it wouldn't go shutting off.
Oh, sorry.
This is the weirdest angle. Where do you have your phone?
I'm on my
Hello.
love seat. I'm on my love seat.
Oh,
Is
okay.
this better? That better?
That's fine. I'm just trying to figure out, because it's on your phone. It's not your laptop.
No, it's my webcam hooked to my laptop.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah.
I was sleeping. I was chatting with someone earlier and got off the phone. Was supposed to go in the kitchen and clean some containers. I got to put my pasta, rice, and spices and stuff in, and got reading a book I downloaded last night. Read about half the page and woke up 2 hours later.
It must be nap day. I don't
Mor-
know.
moral of the story: she slept.
Yeah, but the problem is I got 2 14-year-old boys in the house tonight, and it's gonna be a long night.
Darren don't like that one.
Did you guys? Hey, did you guys hear that? Apparently,
Hey, I am nowhere near as mature as a 14-year-old boy.
That's a legal issue.
That door better not be open there where he can get out. I will beat both of you.
Mute yourself. Did you
Oh,
guys
lost
hear?
it.
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? They found radioactive radioactive elements in honeybees that dates back to the nuclear testing in the 50s.
How did they know that?
I saw that on the internet this morning.
How the heck do you test for that? Where it?
I don't know. Let me.
That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
What
release
made
of
them
the
want to
half-
test for it?
The release of the activity, the
Yeah.
half-life of the
Let me
uranium.
see.
That's so crazy.
Radioactive.
I know. I'm thinking that song too. As I
Are you wearing lipstick right now?
Me? No.
No, Fishes. She's like,
Yep.
Oh, it's
I
saying
sure am. I forgot to show it. Sorry.
Fallout.
It's my usual.
Fallout from nuclear bomb tests in the 1950s and 60s is showing up in U.S. honey, according to a new study. Although the levels of radioactivity aren't dangerous, they may have been much higher in the 70s and 80s. Blah, 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 blah.
Godzilla will come back. He will. He'll come back. Godzilla will
One
will
student
arrive.
returned with honey from Raleigh, North Carolina, to case it contained cesium levels 100 times higher than the rest of the collected
Cesium.
foods. Cesium.
Getting the door. The door was basically.
What is that noise? What the hell?
That's
That
Bob.
would be the 14-year-old boys.
Thousands
That's
of kilometers.
it's a lady. It's that lady in the basement. She's acting
Yeah.
up again.
The findings reported last month that thousands of kilometers from the nearest bomb site and more than 50 years after the bombs fell, radioactive fallout is still cycling through plants and animals.
It will be for a long time.
The radio
Really, Courtney?
cesium- Jesus Christ. The radio
you're
cesium level.
over-moderated.
Over-moderated?
Having audio and visual issues right now.
After Chernobyl nuclear disaster in '86, scientists showed radiation levels nearby could hamper the reproduction of bumblebee colonies.
We need to throw $20 billion to have a study. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
you
really
know
what
that
it's
report
about.
doesn't generate in the States.
No.
I hate to say it, but when I was in school and we had those educational
I watch a lot
studies,
of.
I
I
made
watch.
them up.
What are we gonna be doing?
What is that noise?
It's the kids. Terry, they're
Oh.
coming in really loud and hot on your mic, babe.
It's coming in hot.
Coming in hot, that mic. Got a hot mic.
It's coming in hot, Tabby.
You're serving it up hot, baby. You gotta turn it down a little bit.
Things are heating up in the City Girl house.
Country Heart.
I don't know what kind of party's going on over there, but gotta keep it down.
She's so embarrassed.
I hope you are, Terry. We're just
She
teasing
doesn't
you.
know it.
Ross said hot. Ross said hot, hot, hot.
Caliente.
Caliente.
Muy caliente.
Muy.
Sí.
Sí.
Sí, es muy caliente.
Oh.
I know a little Spanglish.
Yeah, shut up. Let me drink my Starbucks. That tastes good.
What?
I
What?
love-
What?
I
What?
just love
Listen,
Starbucks.
I'm drinking my Starbucks.
You're
You got
drinking
some
your
weird people
Starbucks?
in the chat. Doc P's threatening it's going to get the
Give
hose.
us the finger. Oh my god! This is PG-13.
I itch my cheek.
What the heck is going on inside chat?
I don't know. She's getting high off of Starbucks.
No, it's
Yeah, a little Starbucks in.
Wait, what's going on here?
My kids, they keep me up all
I
night.
don't know. I think we
Doc
just.
P's talking about giving the host
I
to
think our
someone.
side chat just got confused with like one of those porn sites for a second.
Hmm.
What?
And Raw's asking to be beaten.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Okay. We lost control to hang out.
What's Buffalo Bob up to? I love it. My husband's here.
Yep.
Just taking care of his girls, Dustin. Just taking care of his girls.
No comment.
Don't you hurt my dog.
With duct tape.
What kind of lotion do you use,
Queef.
Buffalo Bob? Jergens?
He uses skin so soft.
It's just,
Queef,
keeps the
queef.
bugs off and keeps it.
Queef, queef.
Oh
I didn't even hear what she said.
sorry.
Said it
guessing
keeps
it's
the
not
bugs off and
repeatable.
it keeps them
I
soft.
don't-
See that part? The soft part. I said, "Oh, never mind." I would.
Behave. Behave.
I
Castle's
know.
evil demons out. Behave.
My husband's gonna wake up and I'll be divorced soon. My goodness.
Hey, Courtney, don't you love it when someone who's got a really cool chicken channel jumps on the chat?
What?
What?
Don't you love it when someone who's got a really cool chicken channel jumps on the chat?
Yeah, who's that?
Oh, that'd be your husband with that really cool short.
Yep.
Are you talking about my
Darren,
husband?
when someone's farting on the stream. Please keep it down.
Are you saying my husband has a really cool chicken channel? Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
That's what he's saying.
You're lucky you live in Australia there, Darren.
I also know what winds you up.
I could say something right now, but I won't. I will not. I
Oh,
will rise above my brain.
my God.
Thinking.
Will you please stop farting,
Really,
Viper?
Viper?
It stinks.
Jack.
I'm gonna put you underneath dishes.
No more beef quesadillas for Viper.
No more quesadillas for you.
No double bean portions for you anymore, Viper.
Yep, Darren's pooping again. We all know this.
There's somebody putting out the chicken link in your link there.
Uh-huh. My husband's like spamming me. Trying to get more people on his
Spammer.
channel.
Spammer in the chat.
Spammer. I think I'm gonna have to time him out for 3 minutes.
Again.
Again.
Damn.
Careful,
that the
Terry, your
chicken
pussy
one?
showing.
No, it's not.
Regard?
Yes, it is. Sitting on the back of the couch.
Oh,
He is ornery. That's why my camera kept moving. He was rubbing his head and his cheeks and his chin. I'm like, inside my damn computer.
I'm on the same page as you, Darren. I'm on the same dirty boat as
I
you.
don't want to.
Wow. Oh
my gosh,
hear
y'all.
about you.
On a dirty boat. It's a pussy
Get your
cat.
heads out of the
It's a
gutter.
pussy cat.
Rise above.
I like Kitty.
Rise above.
I like Kitty.
He loves getting his chin rubbed.
Whoa.
Rise above the belt
His
buckle,
chin and his cheek.
gentlemen.
Can
Buffalo
I help
Bob
it
is
if you
getting a
Americans
little-
take way too much out
Get
of the word
in my
pussy?
Like
belly.
you're an angel, Darren. You're
I am
just
an
as much
angel. It's
an
a
angel as the
pussycat.
rest of us. Yes, it's a pussycat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney's husband.
What's up,
is
pussycat?
It's like a pussy willow tree, right?
What's up, pussycat? Oh,
my
It's
goodness.
PG-13 in here, Dustin.
Right, Dunstan. We don't do that in here.
We pick our noses.
You know.
Or itch your cheeks.
What's up, pussycat?
Raw
Oh,
2029 says he's woot. I'm your 37th sub, he says.
I'm a sub.
I subbed his channel too. I gotta make sure that
Hey, I was number 10. I got him from the single digits to the double
I
digits.
was what?
I don't even remember.
27, I think.
I was very early, but I didn't take my number. I should have ripped it off at the deli while I was.
Yeah, I didn't.
Waiting in
By
line.
the way, Q Kitchen and Beyond, those are my plastic chickens that he used.
He
Mine.
took them.
He took them and made videos. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
maybe he could use that hidden chicken butt in your video.
Can you find the hidden chicken butt? in this
Hey,
Bob, are you pooping?
and he's like pooping out the mic.
I'm not
I'm
saying a
okay.
word. I'm
Well, they're not yours
behaving.
anymore.
I'm just thinking about that pretty cutie.
What the heck is going on behind these black rectangles?
It's all them.
It's all the
The
men.
same thing as normally goes on behind when mine blacks out.
Yep.
Oh my.
You guys do know at any time I can undo your cameras, right?
Go ahead. I've got a piece of angle bar in front of mine. Go ahead.
Display.
Do it, Courtney.
Angle bar. Oh my
It's metal. It's aluminium.
Ah.
That.
2024 T6 511 aluminium battery.
Undo Bob's.
Go ahead.
No way.
He said he
I'm
told you.
not doing
you really
undoing
wanna
Bob's
do
or
that
Darren's.
on
They're
the-
probably pooping or something.
He said to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Go
gosh,
ahead.
you did unsubscribe me.
Yeah. I slide a piece of aluminum over top of the camera. Then see.
I'm
Yep.
supposedly 30.
Wah,
Dan
wah,
subbed
wah,
me.
wah. Now do Darren.
She already knows what Darren's doing.
Dustin, they unsubbed
Yep.
me.
Stop
What?
farting.
Oh, gross.
This chair is ridiculous. Like my lower back. I got another chair I'm bringing down here.
You
I
would
can't.
think she would have sprayed it with WD-40 or put soap or
Bad.
engine oil on it or something.
My daughter's chair does that WD-40. Don't
Look
worry.
at Courtney. She's like, those are great ideas. I didn't think of that.
Raw 2029. Do we want to know what your channel is about? Courtney's
I don't know,
asking-
but if that's
your
his
husband
picture,
is
he's got a
asking
good
what
beard.
his channel. What?
He's been decent.
No, he
If-
has been decent.
If
I'm
that,
on.
He's been
I'm
decent.
on.
He's just talking about aliens and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
and
on the.
making sexy sounds in the chat. I think was
I'm on his channel.
that's-
Apparently, he does music.
That's what he
Oh,
said.
okay.
Yeah.
Raw.
is that his beard?
Yeah, that is.
Cool.
Cool. Got a lot of
The
good
You
beard.
got the vapors. The
Almost
vapors
looks like
blood.
yours. Almost looks like yours, dude.
Yeah, it's got that split in the middle from what I'm saying.
Oh, I like that. I like that
Yeah.
amateur songwriter stuff. Cool.
You got a new friend here.
Yep.
Oh, he's got a Bon Jovi on here. How do you do that?
Just to tell you and have it look like
Right.
a
What
police
the
force.
heck kind of tree roots are those?
So I can park on
Lord.
the side of the road and scare people.
And that ain't his channel. It's a different
Yeah,
one.
good. Go scare someone else somewhere. My God.
Cough it up.
Is there a space? No, no space.
Okay, Raw, I just subbed you.
Me too.
Cough it up. More like eat it. Hack it out.
And I don't know why I had to start Dustin again. That doesn't make sense.
Spit it out. It ain't yours. Spit it out.
I know.
Oh wow. Your controversial stuff, huh? Mm. Okay.
I have a lot of controversial stuff too.
I don't do anything.
Me, I'm just
controversial.
controversial in general.
Just
I don't
behind
have
the
to
black
talk
box.
about it.
I don't do anything controversial.
Never.
What is that one? I can't
Is that a
see
cup
it.
with boobs?
You haven't seen my cup?
That's his dog. That's
Oh,
Bob.
okay. From a
What the
distance.
heck? Wait. Hang on. Leave it there.
Oh
leave it
gosh.
there. Leave it there. How the hell do you see boobs there? Like, I think hers, Country Girls, is more boobish because the octopus, the way it's like bubble, and you'll see if she shows it.
That's the one I got.
Oh
from
my octopus mug.
Yeah.
So raw wing and a prayer is in a cover song. It's your own.
Hey,
Rogan's-
Mute your mic. Mute it. Oh my
What's
God.
Who's the rogue intruder?
Rogue Intruder.
Says we got a rogue intruder.
I don't know.
What are you talking about, Doc P?
Yeah, help us out, Doc. P.
You're
Elaborate.
okay, country girl. Terry.
Elaborate. Yeah, you're fine.
Uh
This is
oh.
really loud. That's a sensitive mic. Echo noise cancellation.
We were warned. So is that just like a card for something really?
He's saying you were warned about his channel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it just looks like he's doing. Are you doing any covers or are they all originals? That was what I asked.
3, 2, 1, and no Bing.
No, but you went robotic for a second.
I didn't realize how sensitive this is. I bought these earbuds today, and I only paid $3 for them because I needed because I had to make some phone calls today.
Yeah, you might want to check your like mic levels because it's really loud.
Yeah.
Let me look at
Well, I
it.
wouldn't say they're loud. It's just really sensitive to where the gain is high.
What in the world are you doing? Pooping again. Gosh, I have never known a person to poop so much.
Bob.
It was ever since they put that lighter up his wiener.
I'm okay.
And lit
Till I
it.
get caught.
And lit it.
Burnt away that stuff that was making him pee blood.
It smelled bacon for a second.
Oh, gross.
You know what I need to do? I need to get a poop award
I love this.
and then like send it to people.
Poop emoji award.
Yes.
Yeah, you got the poop emoji award.
Yes.
Oh,
Golden poo.
Oh my god.
When are you
Hey.
gonna stop talking about
Golden
poop on
poo
your
for
channel?
you.
Huh?
When are you going to stop talking about poop on your channel? I'm pretty sure I heard that discussion.
Yeah, I had to, but I'm okay now.
You're okay now?
Yeah.
So like if you get third place, you get the brown one. If you get second place, you got silver, and then you get the gold. But then, hey, wait, but then you get like a rose gold. That's like the platinum one. That's like the
Is
ultimate.
that the all the way one?
Yeah, you're like you're her number one.
Grand turd.
Yeah, the grand turd.
The grand turd.
The grandest of them all.
Anyway, what were you
Turd that
saying,
rules them
Cortney?
all.
I think Darren was asking you a question.
No, a certain person had an issue with the poop talk, and we didn't really do it that much.
Huh.
We were just laughing and having a good time. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
just
we were being
silly.
insulting. So I stopped for a while, but
Was that the one that I couldn't figure out if they were mad at me? That was in our
I don't
chat.
know. I didn't say no. I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay. I don't want to, ask you outright. I just was wondering.
Wouldn't doubt it.
As I saw that follower that they were there this morning, but they weren't. I don't know. Haven't seen them tonight.
Switzerland.
They got mad at me for something. I still don't know what.
That was Jerry McCurry.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. And Darren dealt with him.
Ah, that one.
I love you, Darren. Thank you.
Oh, some drama went
I'm happy
down
to
this
stomp
morning.
people.
It wasn't really drama. It was just weird.
Something's wrong with
just-
him. I think there's a little mental thing there.
Yeah, it was just sort of side comments that weren't really realistic.
It's a
Gotcha.
lot of disconnected.
I saw you go live, but I was busy. Like I said, I was with my friend.
Yeah, I was busy with the boy.
I was getting ready for work.
Hello. What's new?
Oh no, the
pussycat?
early one. I wasn't up. I was watching the replay. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, no,
And
I
didn't
had
get
her
finished
live.
the whole thing because what was it, like 3 hours? I think.
I was going to bed.
Private chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is my mic sounding better? Not so loud.
No.
Bite me.
Okay. No, you sound good.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what I said.
That's
Courtney,
what she
you want
said.
me to do my detective stuff?
only if you want
Do
to. I
it.
don't really care.
No, I'm
I just
asking you.
yeah,
You know me, I could find anything about anybody.
I just feel bad about it.
Yeah, I did too that day. Really was
I don't like to kick anybody out unless they like did something horrible. Like
Yeah, it's a certain limit. We've had to do that once before.
I've had to do that a few times, and I don't like doing it. But I won't take anyone using derogatory language or talking about raping someone and stuff like that. No, you don't do that in my chat.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, how do we mail anything to Darren? Like, what are the customs like from America to there? Do they
You
hold it?
guys,
You have to go there,
It
you
can
or
guys are
take a
more into
month.
football and Friday night lights and burgers and that, and we're not.
wait, I can't
Customs.
hear.
It could take up to a month for it to get over there. I said,
It'll take a while.
No, but I was just wondering what the process was.
It just sits. It's like doing it from
It
here to
sits.
it's like doing it from here to Canada. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
but I
Like
meant once
it'll
it
make it.
Yeah, I
Huh?
know. But
It'll
once it
make
gets to Darren, does he have to go sign off at customs or?
no. It'll get delivered to his door.
Nah,
It just
as
takes.
long as it's allowed in.
Yeah, it'll just take
Yeah.
a week or 2 weeks at customs. They
But
they
seeds
gotta
wouldn't be
analyze it.
necessarily
But
allowed, like, because that's agricultural, right? Aren't they kind of weird about
seeds
that?
aren't allowed.
Yeah.
So we would have to find a way to buy seeds within Australia and send them to you.
or just smuggle them in, just like
Or you mail a book.
Oh yes, we mail a book. Yes,
I'm sure they call
biodegradable.
buy like
protection.
a model car and just like
Books
put
are
it
made out of
inside.
paper, which is funnily enough shows up on scanners as organic.
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Can do that. I've made seed papers before, and they call them seed bombs too. I've made those. They look like little hearts.
Yeah, I've done that.
For guerrilla gardening. It was.
I remember when my grandfather one day he went to France. I think it was it France? I don't remember. But he came back to just when we lived in Arizona, and he came back with a elephant tusk that was about 3 feet long. But the elephant tusk was all carved out by hand, and it was this like
the ivory.
It was this
Yeah.
like town city. You know what I mean? Like they cut out the tusk and made it look like a civilization. Beautiful piece of art, absolutely beautiful piece of art. But my
gorgeous.
God, the trouble he had to get that into the international, to get into the United States, because ivory importing
a sturdy certificate.
Yeah, importing exporting ivory is highly like watched, and he
I thought it was illegal.
It
he
is.
had
You've got to have a sturdy certificate for it, and then
he had the hardest time to get that on the airport to the airport in France, let alone into the United States. But we got it in. We got it finally. My God. But
Years
absolutely
ago,
beautiful.
My friends over in Italy, every holiday we send each other cards. And years ago, my husband was like, let's get them a coffee mug that says New Jersey because they've never been here. And I was like, okay. So I ordered it like 2 months before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get it till after Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Because of the holidays with mail and everything.
Mm-hmm.
See, this past year.
This is the first year that it was so screwed up. It was ridiculous.
Not even for me. I honestly, this year was the most organized, most thought out, planned out, well executed holiday that I've ever had. We did all our shopping on Amazon. We did everything like 2 months before. We had all our Christmas gifts. They were all here. We just waited to wrap them. Over time, when the time came, we wrapped them. We did everything while other people were scrambling and it was all chaotic. We were over here like the last laugh. Because I was like, every other year, we're that same person going to the mall the day before, like, oh my God, we can't buy nothing. And then this year, I was like, nope, not happening. I got everything organized. I was so proud of myself.
I bought one
Well,
present.
this year we did that too. I ordered everything from Amazon. It came in the mail, and then I wrapped it up. Like
Yep.
that's how we did it this year.
Yep.
But like people's bills and stuff, like my
Oh my
mom's
God.
like credit card statements and all that, it was all screwed up because it didn't come till like 3 months.
You know what? We don't do the gift exchange. We haven't in years. Forget it.
No, we just,
We just don't do it.
I would do it for the kids.
This is the first.
We do it for our kids.
Yeah,
That's
My
that's
kids
the
are
one
grown
gift
up.
I bought.
Yeah. we do it
Yep.
for
My granddaughter.
yeah. My
I
kids
just
are
take
grown
my
up.
husband's money and get what I want. It's
Yeah,
easier.
this
that
was
way.
the first year that we got a tree in years and years, many years,
Mm.
because we couldn't go overseas. We're stuck here. We got a tree, took some pictures, and that was it. That's it. Other than that, we just go out to eat.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
Yeah.
my normal Christmas.
It's all marketing.
Christmas
It's
stuff
all marketing,
It is.
guys.
It's all commercialized. That's what Raw just
Walk
said it
away
is.
from us.
Become very
Mhm.
Christmas
Really
Day
ruins
is
your.
normally
It
at
ruins
the
you.
church in the morning for service, and then the afternoon I work in the community lunch.
Oh
We
well,
do a
there.
community lunch.
You were
Wait.
able to
Darren,
do that
Darren,
this
you're
year?
such a good person.
Nah, I'm a turd.
That's why we're sending you one.
He's a good one.
Golden glitter and golden sprinkles.
We usually have family dinner. Although,
Yeah.
because our family is so, I'm not going to use the word I want to use, but let's just say screwed up, that I have to pick and choose families on certain days. You know the story, but we'll usually have a family dinner.
Well,
Nice.
if
Instead
it
of,
makes you feel better, I stopped listening to my mother's phone when I kept hearing that they were going to send like social services to check on her if she was okay, because she's not
Wow.
calling because of her stroke, her third one, and because I think my sister gave her a fourth mini one while she was here. She's not picking up the phone except randomly.
yeah.
So when I heard that, I stopped listening to her phone. I was like, just let them know I'm not listening to your messages anymore on your phone. If they're going to send them, they're going to send them. But I'm not going to get myself upset about that. So yeah, my family's just as screwed up, if not more.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
forgot to
fishes?
say, I bought a present for my
Hey,
mom.
TJ Miller.
Fishes reminds me of those old like box televisions that when they went bad, they started doing that weird color thing, and
Yeah.
then you'd have to bang them on one side of the TV to get clear.
What
What is
Squishy angle.
Was it the projector ones that had
Yeah.
like the lights?
Yeah, and if they went bad, you'd have to like bang the side of the TV to knock it back into.
It has gone bad. I can't change the colors. I was so bummed. And
What's
if
wrong
I hit
with it?
one wrong,
I wouldn't mind having one of those in this room.
That would be
I
so
wanna get
relaxing.
a new one.
You've already got disco lights.
I
Yeah,
know.
they're right behind your head.
Yeah, you need to get that little star field like we saw.
Yeah, that was mine. I wanted the star field. Come on. No, it's fine.
Now you don't want to
We'll get
copy each
matching
other.
No, we're not. I don't ever want this like to be like that where people are bringing up like, oh, I was doing that first. I'm like, have you looked on YouTube and have you looked on Pinterest? Everybody's doing
Yeah.
it first. Like
Yeah.
that idea has been done a million times. You're just
Right.
putting
Yeah.
your spin on it and what you've learned about it.
Exactly.
Nobody is
Move
copying
on.
you
Yeah.
directly.
Move on. Your feelings
Yeah.
got hurt. Big deal. Move on.
Yep, get over
Well,
it.
it's also
Well,
seasonal
one of
stuff.
my team
Everybody's
put
doing
up a-
sweet potatoes. You're going to see people how to plant sweet potatoes. You're going to see a bunch of those pop up.
That's
One
where I
of my team
find
put
them.
up a video
Yeah.
on the pumpkin flower.
What?
They called me up for tips beforehand. It's like, yeah,
Take
this
it.
is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Wait,
for
I
it.
missed what you said, Darren. I can't hear Darren for some reason.
Clean your ears out.
She died.
No,
I
I
just saw.
am.
Ear.
I'm gonna go get my suction device.
One of my team, they done a video on making pumpkin flour, same as I done. They called me up for tips beforehand, and it's like, yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Here's the tips. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Well, that's cool because they called you and knew you
Yeah,
had
at
done
least
it.
they
but,
asked
like,
and didn't steal your idea.
When the video came
Yeah.
up, I was one of their first comments. I posted, "What a great idea!" That was
that's
it.
true support. That's true support.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
where
that's-
I get
and
most of my ideas.
The thing is,
Yeah.
that's respectful because they came to
Yeah.
him and asked and say, "Hey, may we
Mhm.
borrow your idea?" Sure. And then he went on there and supported
Yeah.
them like he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
That's
just
disrespect.
they didn't just
Mhm.
come over to his channel and be like, yeah, I'm gonna steal this guy's,
Plus,
like,
why not even see it like, wow, they think like me. How cool is that? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought, that's what I
Bibby-
thought when I saw
Bibby
that.
thinks like me all the
Courtney
time.
loved
We
the
compete.
fashion. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Darren. What?
Bibby thinks like me all the time. We compete with videos. Like
Yeah.
I'll put a video out and she goes, "That was next week."
yeah,
Or she'll put one out and it's like, "Damn." Yeah, like they've done Polish potato pancakes, and I was gonna do
Oh, I do
Irish
that all
mock
the
fish,
time.
Yeah.
which is the same
Germans
thing.
make potato pancakes too.
Tusky sounds so good right now.
My grandmother,
Mm.
great grandmother, used to make them all the time.
what's
Yeah.
that?
And it's
Usually
like,
with leftover.
We always make them after we had a huge mashed potato meal. And like,
Mhm.
there's leftovers. So my
Yeah.
mom was just like, ooh, potato pancake, potato pat. We call them potato patties. But
Yeah.
we don't use mashed potato.
Pataties.
You gotta shred it up.
Yeah.
we use mashed potatoes and just pack them up and then put them on the frying pan.
The
Potato.
shredded, like hash browns are latkes. They
See,
don't-
I'm gonna use Courtney's idea, but I'm gonna call them pataties. See, I put my own spin on it.
Pataties? Is that what you said?
Pataties.
Pataties. Instead
Yeah,
of
but at
potato
least-
patties, instead of
At least somebody's not knowingly watching your stuff and then copying off of you and putting that out there. Because then that's like,
instead of
But
potato.
in all reality,
Tweaking it and
it's,
making adding special effects so theirs is just a little bit better.
Yeah, or a little
in all
different.
reality, it's YouTube. If you look hard enough, there's another video out there with it on.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
I joked when Pinterest first came out, I'm like, I'm out of a job. You can find everything that I ever taught on Pinterest. And I thought
Exactly.
some of them were original ideas. That's what was like, oh my gosh, I thought that was an original idea. Look, somebody else did too.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
from
where I got
Christ
the
said it
idea
all.
for my art.
There's times where I'll have a project to do, like I'll work on my truck or I'll do something and I'm like, oh, I have an idea. I'm gonna do this. This is like my idea, my own little custom thing. Nobody's ever done it, right? And so I start to work on it. I start to figure out I got to go to a hardware store and I need some specific thing. And the people are like, oh, well, we don't have that. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell do I put this idea together and make it come. I'm sure I'm not the only one in this whole world that thought of doing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how it is. Like we're not the only people that just thought of that one idea. You know, if so, better copyright it and make your millions.
But what
You
I
know?
was gonna say when Darren was I shut up for Darren was Courtney and I both love a certain flower. And it's like, why can't you look at it like that? Like, oh my gosh, we have that in common. That's so cool. That was
Exactly.
like when I saw her video, I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to see my video. You won't believe what I planted too. Like, I love that flower. I can't wait to see how it does and up there and how you can grow it.
I
And
gotta
be
go walk my
supportive,
dog.
for goodness
Oh my
sakes.
God.
What the heck?
Yeah. Well, okay. Out of all those, I got a video coming out, but out of all those May pops that I had soaked and then planted, only one popped up.
Do you know what I think?
It could take up to a month for them to come up.
Huh?
It can take for Maypop seeds. It can take up to a month for them to germinate.
Well, it's been months.
Sense. That makes sense. 'Cause
Courtney.
I ended up with vines that I didn't know what they were, and I had planted Maypop seeds along that area, and they came up months later, and I ripped them out because I kept asking people, "What are these? Are these this plant?" I even put it in a video, but they came up again. The other seeds came up after. Unfortunately, the fence guys put them on the other side of my fence.
Oh no! Oh
no!
Out of
This is when you
reach.
dig a hole like a dog does and just like pull them.
Bring them back underneath. Yes.
No, are those the ones that put out the fruit?
Yeah.
Courtney, how's your moon? How's your moon plant? Your
I
moon-
got tons of that. I got 6 of those. Moonflower.
Yeah, is it coming up?
Yeah, they're pretty big. I'm gonna plant them as soon as there's no frost issues.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
are
I
the ones
can't
that are
wait.
really huge, right?
Yeah, they get big and they only bloom at night.
I have the.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I wonder if you could put like a night vision camera on them and then later on time lapse it and watch them.
That would be amazing if I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the moonflower like a night blooming cirrus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I have. I
Yeah,
have a
only blooms at
40-year-old
night.
plant in my backyard. That was from my dad's. I didn't know they were the same thing, like the similar.
Yeah.
Get out of town. I want to see what yours looks like. That's cool.
Well, so far, I mean, it's only this big right now, but I'm sure it's going to get bigger. And they usually get like huge white flowers on them like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I wish I could. Hold on. Maybe I can do it on my phone. My parents used to have
I gotta
it on
go
their
walk
back
my dog.
patio, and I
I got to actually get off of here. Guess what? We've been on for 3 freaking hours talking.
3 hours and 15 minutes.
We are like the best friends that we've ever had. Like
Hey.
we were on the phone for 3 freaking hours. I feel like I'm like a teenager. I've been on the phone for 3 hours.
Could you imagine?
Go to sleep first. No, you.
Could you imagine what I call a subscriber meetup? Could you imagine if all 6 of us like let's all meet let's just meet in Vegas, or let's meet in Miami, Florida, like somewhere. Let's we're meet somewhere local-ish to I know Darren's on the other side of the world, but imagine if we could all meet somewhere and just kind of hang out for like 2-3 days together.
That was my dad.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That was my dad. Like the year before he passed, I brought up trains so he would make a connection with trains with Malachi, and he started playing with them.
Nice.
Someone finally saw my comment.
Real bad, but it was his plan. And so when my mom came, I'm sorry, I know we're trying to get off, but when my mom came here, this is what I wanted to tell you. That flower bloomed, and it hadn't bloomed in a long time.
Oh,
It, like,
wow.
for a couple years had not bloomed, and when we decided Mom is definitely coming here, and we rented the pod,
Started coming
the
out.
flower bloomed.
Beautiful.
Yeah, kiss from heaven.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Okay, well, you guys, I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow night. It all depends on my husband and how he's feeling and all that stuff. But I was definitely be on Mondays at 7 for my shout outs. And then, of course, my traditional Wednesdays. Thank you, everybody, for coming
Hi,
in.
Robert.
Oh, Homestead, you're already late.
Aw,
You're late, but I still love you. Thank you for being here. Raw. Oh, my gosh. We got a new person. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You're awesome. And Doc P, everybody in the chat, I appreciate you. This is so much fun, you guys. I love
It
chat.
is. It is.
Like, we click really well, and I love that.
I think so.
I love you, Bob.
I love you, man.
I love you, man.
Hey, if we see Bob
Let me show you my face.
And we can't forget Uncle Al.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Uncle Al's amazing.
For
See,
sure.
it's catching now. Q Kitchen realizes that Dustin's trying to get Viper in bed.
Oh, hey now. Hey. How you doing? I see you with your 37 subscribers. I
I
see
totally
you.
missed that comment. Cute.
All right. Well, y'all have a great night, and thank you for helping me with my hours. If you can watch. And
Always.
we'll see you when I can get back on. So,
okay.
all right. Y'all have a good night.
Night,
Good
everybody.
night.